whatever it's called.
There is no such thing as bad. Oh, hi.
There you are.
Hello. Thanks for joining us.
We missed you.
What's up? Welcome back.
Who do we got?
3 sages for the price of 1.
What?
3. Dang.
Oh, nice.
I can see 2.
Oh.
Hey. I had to
What's
play.
up, Yada?
Excellent.
Nice.
Welcome back. Welcome to episode 7 of Expedition Dracana. We are into this. 7 episodes.
Yeah, we really are.
I was saying earlier, not as far through the story or through the encounters as I thought we would have been, because there's been so much juicy drama and character development happening, which has been wonderful, and I don't mind it at all. Last week our party suffered their first 2 character deaths.
Yes. Should we get the list up, the roster?
Oh, yeah. Good point.
We do have a roster to keep track of the characters, and you can see there Amelia and Hero
You too.
both
Break it up.
suffered horrible fates. Amelia's heart was stopped cold by the scream of a banshee.
I believe it split her skull.
There were various descriptions. We're not
Right.
totally sure exactly
like a
what.
watermelon.
I know exactly what happened. I was there.
The blood was on Jimothy's face.
Kay certainly knows
say
what
it.
happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, very upset about that.
Could have been
Just
an
got the
idea.
stains out of his coat.
Would have been very interesting.
And somebody else suffered a consequence in that fight as well, and decided to pass it off to Hero the Painter. And after camping in the keep, they found the next day that their painter had wandered off and was painting out over a vista, but was painting a terrifying image, perhaps his own death. And yeah, he had foreseen it, because Furla discovered that he had picked some berries that were poisonous and indeed fatal, and that there was no cure for them. So Furla ended his life,
and then
mercifully.
Surreptitiously fed him and Amelia to the snow vine.
Oh,
God,
Amelia, too.
the snow vine is definitely the most monstrous element of this entire campaign so far.
Snowvine
It's
is
just,
from the upside down.
yep.
He needs to go on a diet.
What's up, Kitty?
Get sluggish.
Welcome.
Hello.
Yeah, so all of that stuff happened. We had our first NPC deaths, and after several more days of travel, our party camped on the 12th sickle of harvest.
Calendar
hype.
Oh.
The 12th sickle, so we're nearing the 15th, which is the black point. I think you might have already adjusted it there. Yeah.
What's the black point?
The black point is the 15th of every month, which is the holy day of that god. See how in inner more it has the name of a god with the arrow pointing. So that's like the 15th day of each month is the holy day.
The gods are not with us here.
Yeah, you are beyond the sight of the gods, many would say.
No gods or kings, only man at this point. And
But
monsters.
there is one god who is certainly present on the scene right now.
Or at least the one person who thinks that they act with the will of a god.
Yes, and in the form of Judge Temperance, who introduced himself by riding up to the party and telling them that he was there to bring in Yiirik Milksmith for the crimes of possessing and distributing elicit eggs, particularly dragon eggs, and resulting in the deaths of many sailors and a general plight on the kingdoms of Gothralad.
Yiirik would do that, would he?
Sounds like a bunch of hogwash to me.
We need the deets on that one at a later point.
Yiirik denied it in front of everyone, and then Lhanji asked if they could have a more private discussion, and the judge and his 2 bailiffs entered into a tent, which I have represented here on this brown piece of leather that I cut to the correct size, so that when we lift off the the tents. We have the space underneath.
Sick.
Love it.
So these 5 characters are standing in this tent.
Also, the snow vine is burrowed beneath the ground.
Yes.
You made a crazy stone
Yes,
roll.
and Judge Temperance did it. He was keeping a watchful eye, but even he did not notice the creeping
This thing
vine.
is terrifying. That vine is terrifying.
It will eat us all
Definitely.
eventually. If it
Which is
has
why
to
we've got
decide
the snow
between-
vine poised
versus
here.
clean
This
vine.
gigantic
Yeah.
miniature that towers over everything.
It was very fitting. I know you were like, I didn't expect it to be that big, but it
works.
fitting.
Right on.
It works,
That's what
yeah.
she said.
Yeah, it's
Here, maybe it
Full
needs to
human
be
body, so
more like this.
like lingering right over the. Okay, come on now. It's not that close. No, let's not get crazy.
it's under them.
Use your mind's eye.
Before we get going, we'd like to mention that the dice was rolled.
The
The gravity well.
the gravity well was
prior
already
to
rolled?
the
starting.
gravity well hath
Yeah.
been cast.
We got a good enough number to where we didn't care if you saw us roll.
In the sight of players and game master.
And the bird was placed
the
upon
bird
it.
was placed.
It has been fully activated.
You can kind of see it in the background.
So in this discussion of this judge being accusatory, Yiirik, I don't totally remember in the end kind of what your stance was of things. I feel like you were still denying it, but you were kind of like a little bit like so be it.
My ultimate place was that I was suggesting that his all his stuff was very convenient, that this high profile sort of like adventure was going on with the Hope, Milksmith name, very high profile, and that it would be quite convenient for him to bring in this person at this time, right? And then
Yes.
and then at the end, I think Milksmith had determined that it was like he wasn't going to put up with this any longer.
Yeah,
for his.
I felt like there was some sort of a kind of ultimatum or some sort of a like, then you're going to have to take me out of here or something. There was something that had kind of provoked the judge,
I had
right?
told him it was time for him to go, basically, and then Lhanji was also doing.
I was trying to see if there was any angle of corruptibility, as there sometimes is with lawful people.
He did tell you that he would be happy to give you the large bounty that is offered on the Milksmith's head, right?
Yeah.
Which is being offered by the church.
Cheers.
Yeah, our Milksmith also found it convenient that the church was offering this up. So it all seemed very convenient.
They're tax exempt and all that.
They're the feds, man. They're after you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
Yeah, so the last thing that had happened was I had described that the judge was like gripping his weapon, which I think I had said was a sword. I remembered later that of course judges don't carry swords; they carry gavels. So it's a war hammer, but they refer to it as a gavel, and it's a. Only judges carry gavels, right? It's kind of it's part of their shtick or something. It's really just some fancy warhammer. or something like
rather
that,
than
but-
keeping order, it's to break the skulls.
I
of
like
those who-
that. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, so he had this hammer hanging at his side. He went to grip it. Lhanji, also in conversation, had kind of not necessarily implicated herself, but had kind of suggested that she knew that Yiirik wasn't totally clean when she hired him for the mission, and the judge didn't seem too pleased with that.
Yeah.
And at the last moment, in the judge and the two facing down, Lhanji stepped in the way, interposing herself between the two, and there was a flash of movement, and that was the cliffhanger. And the flash of movement is that the judge is indeed drawing his weapon, and he is taking a swing at Yiirik. And if Lhanji is in the way, then Lhanji's gonna take the attack.
Yeah.
So we're just kicking it right off into a battle.
I just want to point out, I don't remember the two bailiffs' being in there in the tent?
They were.
They definitely were, and partly why I remember is because when they all went in, Keith asked, and then shoot away their horses.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
got
and I had considered leaving them outside to keep watch over the horses, but then I was like, no, I want them inside as a GM or whatever. But then
It's fair.
totally.
And then I took the counter GM and was like, yeah, but
Yep, fine.
get rid of those horses.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's also what Furla would do.
Yep.
Yep. So
They don't deserve them anyway.
with that,
Those horses are free now.
Rules of nature, man.
Judge Temperance is taking a swing
Let's do it.
at Lhanji.
Oh boy, I guess we better roll dice.
Let's find out which minor character is gonna die today.
Takes a swing, and who dies?
Yeah. Spontaneously outside.
This is our curse.
Hoo hoo hoo. Well, you got lucky. No curse yet. I rolled really poorly.
Sweet.
Are we all rolling initiative or just who
No,
rolls
I'm
what
just
tabs?
rolling a fight against Lhanji.
Do I defend with...
Yeah, fight or athletics.
Okay, it'll be fight. It's a 1.
A 1. Yeah, you're interposing in the scene. Kind of, he pulls the hammer a bit as he's taking the swing, a bit apprehensive to hit you maybe, and it like narrowly misses your face whoosh, as he swings by, and he declares, as the meme that Keith put forward earlier, "I am the law." Yes, swings his hammer, and his bailiffs draw out their clubs behind him.
Clearly, true character comes out. I am the law.
Yep. And now we can roll initiative. You guys hear this yell from outside, but you don't necessarily know that it's a fight yet. But you hear that they're getting heated, and yeah.
I got the initiative card here, so
What, do we roll it against a stat? I can't remember, man.
survival,
You just-
Okay.
yeah.
which is kind of the notice spot equivalent.
Do we have? Are there any known aspects out and about?
Yeah. So, do we have some blank here?
Yeah.
Could we do maybe like close quarters in the
use a
tent?
bunch of these. Yeah, these are old. Yeah, that was exactly one that I was gonna do. Was close quarters. Also, there are like sleeping cots in there that could be invoked in the fight.
Could be used as
Those are
giant
tents.
shields.
Yeah.
Those are our tents, right?
I don't totally know how many tents that you guys have. I just set some up, but yeah, that is the idea. And you guys do have a certain number
two
marked.
large and two small, or maybe just one large and two small.
We have.
I can't remember. I'm just wondering, just in case.
Yes. Well, whatever the case. So that is.
Just in case.
Just in case.
Those are the aspects that are happening there. I can do aspects outside
What'd you get?
I got a 1.
if the fight moves out to there. I would say those are two different
Daniel, what'd you get?
zones.
I got a 0, but
Lhanji?
I'm thinking about boosting it.
Okay. Alexi?
Getting ready for a fight.
Alright.
Gonna take off your tie, yeah.
Kid gloves come off.
And
It's Alexi time.
Josh, what should I add for your peoples?
This is initiative. Mm-hmm. Well, what have we been using? Survival? Notice?
Thought it was survival.
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 Yes, survival.
Arf. Arf.
when the tie comes
Do
up,
we
things
have
get
have
serious.
both survival and notice, or do I?
No,
have,
it's just survival is notice.
Okay,
We've
that's
been
what I thought.
using.
Okay, so survival. I'm at a 2.
Judge and Ben.
I guess I could roll different for them. I was just gonna put them on the same initiative, but
I mean, I'm cool with that.
yeah, let's just keep it easy. I think that's easier for me to keep track of.
All right. Well, I had a 7
Holy smokes!
because I rolled a 3 and
Wait, does
survival
that mean the
and
Snowvine also has a 7?
I think so.
What?
Yeah, he can act as either. Mm-hmm.
That's
That makes so much narrative sense.
Yep, Snowvine is bursting out.
Hell yeah.
And it was already narratively established that it had used its burrow boost. So it is activating that, or it's whatever we call it, invoking it. And that's not so hot, but
Who's it attacking?
one of the guards.
Okay.
It loves guards.
It likes taking the low-hanging fruit because it knows that it can get away with it and eat it.
I mean, yeah, eliminate
Loves just like when there's
Eliminate
2
options,
guards
man.
standing around a guy. He's like,
I have a
going to
4.
eat these.
I have to add. I also got a 4. I think I'm gonna, because I got a 3 in fight, and then a +2 from the burrow. But I think I'm gonna invoke. I'm gonna invoke carnivorous snow burrowing vine snake. In order to get the hit, and it
Yeah.
has a weapon 3.
Okay. This guy has armor 3, so that will basically not do anything. So he's taking 3 physical damage.
And I like to think that it roots came up out of the ground and like grabbed hold of his legs and are like kind of like a serpentine, like coiling around and like starting to crush his legs, and trying to pull him under, but dude's moving fast enough. And then that's me and Alexi.
Cool. There are different ways to do armor in Fate, and I'm using a variant rule from the system toolkit for weapons and for armor. And yeah, the number of it is basically saying that's the maximum amount of damage that you will take. If you're saying that you have an armor 2, then at the most, when you're getting hit with a physical attack, you're going to take 2 damage. And then, like, if it's a weapon 3, at the minimum you're going to deal is 3 damage. So that's how that works. And it works better than the original rules. So,
Yeah.
yep.
Cool.
System toolkit. I'll get you the link.
Good stuff. Okay, it's Alexi's turn.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that you assumed that Jimothy was not going to be involved in that.
Well, sorry, it's your turn, and you can act with whoever you would like.
No, he totally wouldn't. But yeah, I guess Alexi's gonna rush in, hearing the commotion that's going on there, clearly figuring out that things have taken a turn.
It definitely
for the worse.
sounds heated.
So
yeah.
He's gonna rush in there and I guess
Flip open the flap, and you see the vine snake wrapped up around one of these guards' legs, and you see the guards both have their clubs out. The judge has his gavel out, and he's definitely in like a fighting stance, and Lhanji has kind of interposed herself between.
I guess I'm going to, like, I've basically rushing in, like, flipping open the canvas, whatever, and seeing that one guy is clearly being attacked. My first assumption, goddamn a snowvine. Like, just assuming that the snowvine is the whole cause, having full confidence. But also recognizing that the gavel, I guess he's got it out and he's trying to take a swing. So he's basically going to bum rush Temperance and try to knock him down.
Okay. So are you creating an advantage then? It sounds like.
Yeah.
You're not trying to deal damage.
No, not at the moment.
You're trying to like knock him prone or
Yeah,
put him in a
knock
bad
him
position. Okay. That's probably a fight check or maybe athletics.
Can I do fight just using my strength? Or does it have to be athletics?
I think it can be either. I mean, a bull rush to me is kind of like a fight maneuver, so it makes sense that you would be rolling with your fight stat.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Guess it doesn't matter anyway.
I wonder. Yeah, it didn't roll well.
Rolled a 2.
Yeah, 2 total.
Yeah. But I'm ready to go.
I'm just considering something. This is not considered defending. This is like, I mean, it's defending against an advantage being created, but it's not defend in the terms of like reducing damage. Yeah. All right. Well, he succeeds. I'm at a 5.
All right.
So he hears you coming and he sidesteps, and you end up basically right in Lhanji's face.
Which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Mission accomplished at
I'm
least.
actually just in time.
I got no quips for that.
Well, you don't need any.
No, I had something and then like it was gone.
All right, whose turn is next?
That is Lhanji. And then the judge. And his men.
His merry men.
I think I'm gonna try to rally the troops.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess I'll be trying to create an aspect of like on alert or something. Using rapport.
Yeah.
Oh, yoy, it's a +4.
Cool.
Yeah, so...
That seems like a success, but maybe not a success with style. So you do create an aspect with 1 free invoke, right? What did you say? What were you calling it?
On alert.
Basically calling out.
Negotiations are off! Don't let them escape!
On alert.
Cool.
Even if negotiations had been on, their horses are gone. So.
Yeah. They're stuck here.
There's the there's like the bell in the camp that's rung, so like everybody knows what's up.
If they need to, I'm sure they will take our horses. So
Yeah.
That's true.
don't let them escape.
Okay, so now it's my turn.
And Ash is up next.
Snowvine for them.
Did you end up boosting?
We could ride.
I did not.
Okay.
We could ride.
I'm
the
still at
Snowvine
0.
if we needed to. It's all collectively. Surely it's like 20 feet long now if you're eating like 70 people.
All right. Well, I think one of these guys is attacking Alexi, who just rushed in there, and now his back is turned toward him.
Yeah. Thanks, Alexi.
Yeah.
Not a problem, man.
That's very true.
Okay, so I have a 3 fight against you, Alexi.
Okay. I just need to roll to defend.
Yep. A fight.
That puts me at a 4.
Okay. So you succeed. The other guy is going to make an attack against the Snowvine, I think, because that just makes sense, right? He's like just whacking at it with his club.
Those are pretty much going to unique.
All right, I have a 5 against your Snowvine, Keith. No, a 6. Ouch, what am I at
NPC
here?
has done.
I have a 6 against your Snowvine, Keith.
Ooh,
An attack of 6.
Dang, son.
Snowvine. Can I defend with fight?
Yeah.
Oof, I got a 4. I'm just gonna take it.
All right.
How much stress is that?
2.
Just 2. They don't have a special weapon or anything.
I think they have a weapon too.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should complete the set tonight and just have both your arms cut off.
Can I take a compel this is my pitch. So he's cutting it with a sword
No, they have clubs.
or clubs. What if he
like,
smashes
snapping
the snow vine and a big piece of it like breaks apart and everyone sees like a paintbrush, like Hero's paintbrush. Inside it, like that has been like wrapped up in vines, but the vines were all split by this bludgeoning weapon. Could I fish for a fate token on that?
I just don't know if it's creating enough trouble.
Not in this moment, but it is revealing to the party that the snow vine ate their.
Yiirik might have a few words about that. Eh?
I would definitely feel less trustworthy. But, it's up to you, man.
Yeah, I guess I'll allow it.
Okay.
Either way, it's good flavor.
I mean, yeah, it was kind of a discussion of people not carrying, Lhanji not carrying before.
Even like a hand with a paintbrush.
Yeah,
that would be more
paintbrush still
distressing.
in it. Yeah.
More distressing. Oh, jeez.
And it's like partially decomposed. And, like, yeah.
All right. He's staying where he is, and just like yelling basically through Lhanji at Yiirik, and he's saying, "Turn yourself in now, and your friends need not bleed." He's making a provoke against you.
Oh. Damn.
Do you have your
Jeez Louise, man, I'm rolling bad.
Well, that's good for
Hey,
me
it
because my will is...
Goes around the table.
Frustrating, man. I'm gonna spend a fate point to re-roll that.
Damn.
Oh no!
And I'm using, he never loses a cent.
Yikes.
Bummer, man. Okay, I have a 2 against you.
Trying hard to feel sad.
Well, I have a
I know.
negative. I have a -2.
Okay, well, so I'm still 4 over you right now. 4 shifts.
Wait, is this the judge or one of these dudes? Okay.
The judge at
This is Temperance.
Yiirik. Oh yeah, he did have a bit of a cowboy accent, didn't he? I've forgotten that until now.
Judge Temperance.
Yeah.
You better turn yourself in, boy. Now you're starting to sound.
I'll be
Your friends need not bleed.
Yeah.
Have all
Rerolling will
the
not help me.
judges' men gone?
Yep, and the judge is acting now, and Yiirik,
okay.
Yiirik is figuring out.
This is a will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means you should pull from your way stat.
So it's gonna hit for 4.
4 damage. Mental. Or pass it to someone else.
I'll take it.
Don't you touch favorite?
Or a consequence.
Favorites out by the horse.
Moderate consequence.
I like that favorite
Okay.
the dog outlived both of
Okay,
our
so I
artists.
get a free invoke on that mild consequence. This is something that I found in the book today when I was reading about consequences, and I thought it was a thing that I had read before, and then I tried to look twice and could not find it, and then I found it again today. That whenever like a or I think it also applies to when you guys attack a creature and they get a consequence, you get a free invoke against it, and it's just that person. The person who dealt the thing gets a free invoke. So the bailiffs couldn't invoke this, but the judge next turn will be able to invoke this thing against you.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is
Sense.
It makes complete sense.
Yeah.
It's like I shouldn't have to spend a fate point to compel something that I just like dealt to you.
I just broke your arm.
What's
It
the
should be
word I'm
helpful.
looking for? It's like he's because you said that so I'm torn basically between
Yeah.
these two.
Torn allegiance or something.
That sounds good.
Between turning yourself in and.
No, just that people are gonna die. If
His
I don't
friends
just
are gonna
hang
get
myself.
hurt.
Oh, right.
Oh, mine's gone.
What about like racked with guilt or something?
This isn't.
I will make sure it
Yes.
happens.
Okay.
Yes, Mom.
Yeah.
Shirtless Harry Robin
I love it.
Williams.
That's it.
He would give the wharf line, "I am not a merry man."
I'm not a merry man.
Yeah. I protest, sir. I am not a merry man.
Shut up, Wolf!
A great moment in Star Trek history. The holodeck was just the excuse for the most nonsense ever.
It's like, all right, we're gonna do it.
We're actually done being on a spaceship for a while.
Yeah, let's have a murder mystery in this episode.
1920s gangsters shootout.
This is so fun.
Yeah.
They always
like
start
fan
the holodeck
Did you go
too. It's
torn
like,
regions?
oh,
Yeah. It's just the perfect. I guess that's their way to reconcile. Like in the original series, they would just go back in time, but that was somehow like too ridiculous.
Okay,
for
whose
them.
turn
They
is it
still
now?
did it in Next
All
Generation.
right,
but
it's
just like
me, I
very
think.
careful about it.
Ash
Alright,
and then
so
Yiirik.
Ash hears the call and sort of runs over, and sees like, I think he saw it when Alexi came in through the flap and just saw just a cluster
Commotion.
of people. So he's basically comes up to the tent, and he doesn't quite know what to do just because. You know, there's just so many people. In
You can't
one
just
small
throw a
area.
fireball
Yeah,
into
exactly. So he
The wizard's quandary.
takes a second and plants his feet and then brings up from the ground a giant gust of wind and is basically trying to blow the tent just right off of all the people.
Okay, cool. I love it.
That's the exact opposite about.
So
what I was
do you
about to
think
do.
you are
I was about to bring
creating
this
an
shit down on my
advantage
head.
here? I mean, obviously, by opening it up, you're going to make it kind of easier for other people to maybe act. But like, what is?
Yeah, I think I'm trying to create an advantage of
Yeah.
like
Then you'll be
an
like they're like
escape
in the
route.
open or something.
in the
like
open.
that.
Yeah, just like
It means you could run away or.
The cover is blown.
Oh!
I like it.
so a 3 on that.
Yeah, I think that's enough.
Cool.
Although
Wish the tent was on.
I feel like I have to do this. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they fit.
Wait, let's get a close up
wow.
of it
Hell
when we
yeah.
do it.
Okay, go for it.
Okay.
All right, describe your spell.
So he sort of stands, plants his feet, and just
Here he is on the
like
other side.
wind blows up and just like collapses the tent over to the side and sort of
Not our tent.
off, off it.
It blows away. And then
I don't think I blow it
people
away.
freeze to death tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
JK.
All right. Cool. So is that like one we
Should I-
put it on a card, right? Yeah, on a card.
Yeah, blown cover.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, what do you want to call it?
Blown cover. It's really good. The cover is blown.
Love it.
It's
Cover
really
is
good.
blown.
Yeah. Cool. And then who's up on the initiative after you?
Yiirik.
And then
Yo, move, Milksmith.
are we at the end of the stack at this point, or
Yep.
okay?
Is that one that you could also, or even if that like
It has
sort
to
of
be-
makes sense?
It has to be narratively justified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. We'll just have to tab it first.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
we're
Just
in it
use
now,
right
I
away.
guess. So Yiirik kind of stumbles back, and kind of
There's room to stumble back now.
mild consequence. He's a little bit shaken. I wouldn't say he like drops to the ground, but he definitely like is shuddering from this, like, like, and also not knowing what to do, and all of a sudden all this stuff is flared up around him. He does the one thing he knows that he can do in this instance. He just knows how to.
Yes, yes.
And there are thick hooves traveling through the snow.
Bouncing over the. Totally.
And I just basically want her to just come up from behind the judge and just horns to the back sort of attack. Or whoever's honestly.
Kalima was standing out here and she was nibbling on a bit of the snow vine that was stuck up out of the ground, doing that goat thing where she's like trying to pull it up out of the ground.
No,
and suddenly the cover gets blown off and she's just standing there.
She started eating the finger and the paintbrush.
Oh God!
Alright, so she comes bounding in. And she's making a fight attack against this guy.
Hell yeah.
That's a 5.
Nice. All right, he is defending, but he has a stunt where he can defend with similar to Ash, where he can defend with
his
evocation. No, he's defending with prayer. So it's like a shield, a shield of faith.
Shit, this one up.
Sort of situation.
Went up another level
It's
here.
like defending, but with style.
Okay, he is also at a 5. Yeah, no, I mean, he hears the goat coming and puts his hand back, and this, like, kind of golden shield appears in front of him, and it's like, as the goat's, like, head, like, collides with his hand.
I
And
mean,
he's
the
like,
cover is blown. The goat could get there faster than anyone.
could surprise
expected.
him.
Yeah. Or, I like, on maybe on alert better. Like, she
wasn't, yeah.
She knew what was going on, but she wasn't going to worry about it till Milksmith told her to come.
Uh-huh.
But
You wanna
she
mark
was
that?
also- yeah, I'll use that.
Cool.
So she was ready.
And that is still an aspect.
She's just waiting for that
Yeah.
whistle.
Actually reminds me of a theory Sophie and I have whenever we drive past cows. We're like, they're planning an uprising.
Yeah.
Beware the livestock, everyone.
at any
They
moment.
are not simply grazing.
All right, so you did
They're
2.
plotting.
I mean, they're definitely like
Yeah, does she have a weapon value for her attack, or?
Engaging defense.
plop.
I don't know what we decided.
To me, it seems like a 2 seems reasonable.
Yeah, that's what
I
we
think
decided
a 3
for
seems a
Yiirik's,
little much.
Lid 2. It's just, so it makes sense that they're both
Okay.
just both +2.
Yeah, so you deal 2 stress to Judge Temperance.
Right.
So yeah, he has his arm out, and she collides in it, and it like maybe kind of,
Yeah.
you know, he feels this strain in his arm.
He holds most of it back, but
Battle goat.
Battle group arrived.
and that's yeah, I guess that's all I can do. She moved and then she attacked.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, back up to the top. I think the Snowvine is trying to claim this guy.
Claim him. This is my meal.
Dang. That's intense.
That's the best way.
Ooh.
Point.
Snowvine was hired as our cleaner.
You were doing a fight, I assume.
I was gonna say a plumber.
Okay, I am at a 5.
Does wet works.
I'm just gonna miss. That's cool.
Okay.
The part of your mob who
And then Alexi's up.
That's
So
fine.
so he's like
Cleaner.
breaking
Plumber.
out of the Snowvine.
Well, I'm actually going to. I'm going to take note of the fact that I guess Temperance is a little bit occupied with the goat. I'm going to look around and see that we quickly need to dispatch everybody as soon as possible. So I'm going to focus fire and go for the guy who's currently, I guess, detangling himself from the Snowvine.
Okay.
So I'm
this
going
guy.
to take a swing at that guy.
Cool.
Make it hit, Taylor.
Huh?
Make it hit.
I'll try.
We'll see. Promise me this.
Oh, again with these. I keep rolling these -3s.
I like your added gold.
That's Jimothy's tooth. I've had the same set from last week.
I didn't realize it.
Yeah, one of them is supposed to be representative of a gold tooth. Because it's just a little.
The other are teeth.
Hilarious.
Awesome.
What'd you get for your
I
total?
got 5.
A 5. Okay, I was at a 2. So you are currently succeeding with style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay. How many
So.
shifts am I doing at this
No.
game?
Well, so you're still doing 3 because you're. Or wait, you have a weapon 4.
I have a two-handed sword.
I always
Zweihander.
forget about that weapon
Zweihander.
4 2-hander.
Can I?
It's so intense.
I mean,
I
it's really
I'm
hard.
spinning it up and just
What is it called?
jamming it right
Teamwork? Kind of like partner. Like if I was to want to partner with this, like
Yes.
support this effort, basically I would take myself out of the order and then
Yes.
get slotted back in.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I don't know how that's supposed to work with the initiative, but that seems totally fair to me that you're just like I'm
you
giving
give
up my
your
turn later in the initiative.
this round.
Yeah. You haven't acted yet.
I might do this just because I've been thinking about this and I think it'd be pretty sick.
Uh-huh.
As Alexi raises his sword up, Ash goes ahead and just whips up some fire and sends it right on the metal on the sword and just calls Alexi, get it!
How's
Get
this
it.
for a flaming sword of justice?
Hell yeah!
Whoa.
Team
So
combo
is that
attack.
just like a +1 on?
It's a +1, yeah. Okay, so
hell
you
yeah.
so you had a weapon 4.
Yep.
And yeah, I'll say it's a +1 damage, basically.
Cool.
So he did have armor 3.
Okay.
So it would have been 3 damage, but it's going to be 4 because of the fire, which of course would ignore armor anyway.
Yeah.
So it still boosted the damage.
Sick.
It
Does
would've
it-
been reduced by
Does
1?
it take him out?
It does not take him out, but it
got
does
some
give
tough.
him a consequence.
He's now on fire.
Yeah,
Set him on fire.
I think he's on
Set him
fire.
on fire. Hell yeah.
Yes.
Can I
Hard on fire.
boost it with a token to try to take him out?
Yeah.
Because I really want the fact that, like, and the way I'll justify it is because in that moment when Ash was giving me the fire, because I had, one of my aspects is like foster father figure, I get this sudden like rush of like, yeah! And this is like the thing I always wanted to do with my son, I just never got a chance to do. So,
I always wanted to murder someone with a
well, it was
flaming
like
sword.
being able to
yeah,
work
like a
together
partner.
with someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like me. My character is just a warrior, a soldier his whole life, and that's what he knows. He just doesn't know, like, he couldn't figure out how to work with like the intellectual like magic end, but somehow this is working right, and he's like, this is what I needed.
Ash is my son now.
Yeah. I'll tell you.
Dad, get fire!
So you do 2 more damage, and that is enough to take him out.
Yeah!
Hell yeah.
So one of the
How much damage did they just
bailiffs
do?
goes
6?
down.
Pop, flames.
Yeah.
He drops hissing to the snow, and the snow vine starts pulling him into the ground. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Did y'all read Kirby's comment about
Get Brand.
No,
dice?
I missed it.
Yeah. Kirby said, "Can we get Snowvine a set of food dice like Daniel's? It would be cool to randomly generate who would be eaten this week."
Yeah. Horse.
Yeah, and they're all like partially digested, blank,
Yeah. Pieces of decomposed.
decomposed.
I
Yeah.
like the idea that
Gold
Snowvine
teeth.
Underground has like a collection of herbs and spices that it's.
Oh yeah, totally. It rubs it into the flesh. I think probably it doesn't taste.
All right, so that bailiff goes down.
That was Alexi. So Lhanji's
That
up.
was a
I built him to be tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just 3 of these guys, so they had to be pretty stout.
yeah. This guy seems like
I'm
he knows what he's
gonna
doing, so he didn't bring along.
bring in Navius and see if we can. I want to try to create an advantage on
Temperance?
judge. Yeah, temperance. Which I think would probably be like flanked or something. Like basically
Yeah.
trying to block, even though the
maneuvering
cover is
sort of thing.
blown. Yeah, gonna try to.
So he's like kind of moving over to this side to like pin him in.
Yeah.
I like the visual of him constantly moving.
On guard, yeah, totally.
He is the fencer, and that's totally what
Yeah.
I imagine. That
Yeah.
the blade is a cautionary, like you can't go this way.
Yeah.
You have to go towards the goat. I'm sorry.
You either walk into.
So I'll say that
the
this
goat's
will
eyes
be
or
against
the
his
Snowvine's
fight value, which is a 3.
Okay, cool.
Or should he be rolling? Should it be a contested roll if he's like trying to get position on him?
Not if it's like an aspect, right?
We looked this up last week, but I forgot the.
Creating
but it's
creating an advantage is a contest.
Give me
They're trying
the,
to create an advantage against
The
you.
rule book, the core rule book.
Yeah, because it is kind of specifically you're creating an aspect on a character,
I don't know where my core rulebook is.
not like.
I think it's
Right
right under the
general.
under the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Over here. Well, whatever the case, we'll just go with his fight score for now, which is a 3. Which the dice are average, so it a 3 would be if he got an average roll. So that seems reasonable.
And do I get to use my fight to create this skill, or am I just rolling
think-
flat?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing it as.
Okay.
If he's flanking or like trying to get
Yeah.
maneuvering, I think that's a fight move.
Yeah, so you use the defend action to avoid an attack or prevent
Nice.
someone from creating an advantage against you. So
Well, dang. Okay, so he's defending then? Oh, okay. Well, he's defending with prayer then. He's I think what he's doing here is he has on this now that his hat is flipped off. When you did the whoosh of stuff, it like pulled his hat off, and you can see that he has on this this visor, which are known as the Eyes of Oldar, which are kind of an artifact that judges wear, which allow them to like detect magic. Basically, right? When they're like investigating things, they can see magic through these things, and he's
auras of it and whatnot.
auras, yeah, and he's like not even looking at Navius, but he's just like doing this prayer sense of like sensing that there's someone moving up behind him.
Totally not a Judge Tread visor.
Definitely not.
100% inspired by it. 100%. I have a 5.
I only got a 2.
I thought I heard you say 105. I was like,
5. Prey is his high stat, so to defend himself, he's got a high score.
I think
Defend against
be
physical,
tough.
anyway.
I'm going to invoke Venerable Court Swordmaster.
Okay.
Fighting one-on-one and close quarters is Navius' speciality.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
So I got -2 on the dice. I'm gonna try a whole reroll.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, that's a +5.
A 5, so
That's
you tie.
quite the turnaround. Still on.
Nice.
So you tie. So on creating an advantage, what does it create? A boost, but not an advantage,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
That
So.
sounds familiar.
So this boost is flanked.
Yeah.
Closed in.
Already wrote flanked, I'm sorry.
It's beautiful.
Perfect. And that's specifically on the judge. Yes. Alright. And that was Lhanji, so then the judge and his men are up.
some killer music.
I liked the guitar in the earlier. It was
All of our music is provided by Sirenscape. And by provided, I mean we pay for it, but we plug them anyway.
Money, please.
Great service that provides Creative Commons music with awesome features. So,
All right. Bailiff is going to attack Alexi. I have a 4.
Oh, I have a
Dang.
7.
Wow.
dang.
Okay, so
Still
does
riding
not,
high in the
does
flying
not deal
sword.
damage to you.
So as I'm like pulling the sword out from, I guess, the remains that the snowvine's just dragging underground, I'm almost caught off guard and like, ugh! And like quickly like pull the broadside of my sword over to like deflect the attack.
Yeah, and you gain a boost.
Yes!
Sweet.
I didn't realize, but that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Succeed
Succeeding with style on a defense.
So what is your boost kind of against this guy?
That's a good question. So I guess
The heat of battle.
yeah, I mean the heat of battle seems to make sense. I'm still riding high from the embers.
I mean, the sword could still be on fire.
Or just a heated sword, like
Right.
like with the bulkheads that were heated before.
Oh, right.
So it's
yeah.
searing hot.
Yeah.
Maybe the whole scene is intimidating to him or something. It's like seeing him like swing at you, and then it's like, and your sword's on fire.
man.
He could
Well,
be, like,
it's a boost
intimidated.
for me, not a disadvantage for him.
Oh, I see.
I could definitely see hot-blooded.
Hot-blooded.
Yeah.
Nice.
Check and see.
All right.
The flame is lit.
I want to be able to invoke this, but I don't know.
Yes.
Another way you could do the sword thing is creating an advantage on your turn and being like, I'm lighting your sword on fire, and then you would give the advantage to them, and then they can invoke it for more damage.
Yeah, I wanted it to be like an instant spell. Though,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, and that was pretty
That's
cool.
a good idea. I mean, it still worked out awesome.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, dude. I mean, I feel like that's.
Well, I
want to
have him attack you, but I'm not sure if he can invoke Torn Allegiance against you if he's
the shit's going
attacking
down.
you physically. But I feel like he can if he's trying to further his argument against you.
Yeah, it seems like a mental sort of consequence.
I know, yeah.
But you could use it as in like you're off guard.
Yeah. You're slow to react because you're kind of like in this like. All right, I'll do that.
And
so he's
earlier in the volcano
attacking you. Come on! Oh my God! 3 minuses again, man.
What? You gotta get rid of those dice.
No, keep them. Thank you, Gravity Well. Gravity Well.
We praise your mighty magics.
Frustrated by this, man. I can't do anything to you guys if I just keep rolling bad with my only person that is able to do something. All right, there we go.
Jeez.
Opposites. So I burned the thing to re-roll. And he is attacking you. He's at a 6 right now, Yiirik. Fight.
I use my endurance or my fight?
103? That's not good.
Fight. I don't think endurance can be used to take physical.
Got it.
Yeah, I don't think it can.
I think that's what I thought it was doing.
It gives you more hit points.
Does it?
It makes you tougher.
It gives you more
gotcha.
stress. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Never mind. That's originally why I took it.
An endurance defense would be like against a poison or
Awesome. I have a
it'd be
Z.
like a
or the environment or something.
Yowzers.
I'm 6 shifts over you right now.
This is... Well, who's dying today?
He's taking a swing at you.
Poor Dolph.
Kalima's right here.
Poor Dolph.
The look on your face. It's like he's gonna let Yiirik die before Kalima.
I know, right?
Definitely.
The final party here is gonna end up being all of the side NPCs. It's gonna be Jimothy
and the Snowvine.
The Snowvine, exactly. And Navius. Proud Navius.
Yeah.
So how does he's gonna hit me for 6?
Yeah.
How does armor come into this?
Yeah, so if you have armor, what do you have armor?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have 3.
Armor 3.
Yes.
Right, so that would mean that the most damage that you would be taking is 3, right?
Okay.
However, because I beat your score by so much, I am adding an additional 3 to that.
Because if we had if you had beaten me by 1 shift, then you would have.
Then I would be dealing 4 damage. If I had beaten you by 4 shifts, because basically you take either your total result or your weapon value, whatever is higher.
Gotcha.
Is how it works.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm taking the 6.
Yes.
Rather than my weapon value of 3.
So how would it be different if I didn't have armor?
It wouldn't be different in this case.
Got it.
But if I was,
that's what I think. That's what I've been confused about.
Yeah.
It's like, why have?
So if I had a weapon 4 and was hitting you, then it would be reducing that damage to 3.
Okay.
But if my total result that I had against you was 4 shifts over, it would still be dealing 4 shifts. Or if it was 5 shifts over, it would be dealing 5 shifts.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Weapon 3 or armor 3 is not that's like leathers, basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I have picked up armor? Definitely don't have armor.
Yeah.
He's wearing rags. Whoops.
And so if I boosted right now, I could get up to a 0, which would put you 4 shifts over.
4 shifts, yeah.
Which would be 4 damage, correct? I'm just gonna take it.
Take all of it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oof. How's Yiirik looking? Keep in mind also that you can be taken out of the fight and it doesn't mean that you're dead. If you mark all of your things, you also can basically concede and be like, this knocks Yiirik out, and you go down and you don't take any more damage, but you don't act anymore for the whole fight.
And you get a fate point.
Yep. If you do that, you get a fate point. Or he could keep fighting and not necessarily die just because you've marked all of your things off.
If we concede our character from a fight, do we still get to play as... Like, would Kalima still get to go in his stead, or is that
I think
sort of
not.
like
Yeah, that's a weird question, but I think the idea is that you're totally pulling yourself out of the initiative. Right. You wouldn't be losing anything, really.
Right.
Yes. You wouldn't be losing much if you're like, I take my main
I guess
NPC
it makes sense that, like, if Yiirik gets knocked down, like, Kalima would go to Yiirik rather than...
I guess, yeah, you just flavor it however.
Or it'd be like
for some reason
battle.
that they're not.
They're just waiting for commands.
Yeah. What do I do? Okay, so Yiirik takes a bunch of damage from him.
Yeah.
Ash is up. Or did you go with all your men?
I did.
Then Ash is
So
up.
he basically takes a hammer to the... Okay,
Yeah, and Yiirik doesn't have anything in his hands right now. Remember, he's just like... So he's got his he's just like taking this hammer.
Oh, jeez. I think Ash sees this and... See, you said that the thing on his head is metal?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and give him a shock.
Mm-hmm.
Shocking experience.
Yeah, I think I see this and just like immediately throw my hand up and yeah, just try and like right to his skull, right to the metal on his Oldar.
His eyes of Uldar.
Right to his Oldar.
So he's making an athletics.
Oh.
Wow!
I'm at a 1 with my athletics.
I am at a... Oh, what does that do? That goes like that. Oh, good lord. Okay, I'm at a 2.
Okay. So you're hitting him by 1.
You could invoke the fact that he's flanked.
I'm gonna invoke. I'll invoke flanked. He has a lot of things around that.
Absolutely,
he's
that
having
makes
to do,
sense.
so,
Having a
like,
hard time getting out of the way of the lightning. Yeah.
A lot of he's already.
All right, so you're
that'll
3
take it up to
over.
3.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna spend a fate point to invoke that he's a observant judge of Oldar, so he sees the attack coming, and it still hits him.
Right.
It's just a glancing blow that deals him a damage rather than 3 damage.
Okay.
Oh, taser! Ah!
Yep.
Ow!
And Yiirik is up then.
Dun, 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 dun.
Says, "You will answer for your crimes, Milksmith."
Milksmith looks up with his bloody face and just almost says nothing. Can't really say anything. Almost, yeah.
Spitting blood.
And as you can totally see, his like
He does that.
his like typical like ptosis issues are like way inflamed right now. He can like probably hardly see out of one eye right now. But Kalima's obviously going to try to headbutt him in the face. So she jumps up.
I was hoping you see something stupid like, that really hurt. Oh, you wound me, Mr. Temperance. Tried to act as if his physical damage was nothing, not even as important.
I'm at a
as
5
pride.
with his shield.
I have a 4. Jesus Christ. This guy's nuts. I'm gonna blow. Yeah, I'll invoke flanked to get a.
Well, flanked
Yeah, I paid for
He
it.
spent
a point.
Was it a boost?
But it was a boost.
Oh.
Yeah, so
You
You could
get
invoke
cover.
cover's blown. That one's free.
I was trying to figure out how to narratively make that one make sense.
Or you could invoke any of your own aspects.
I mean, I like the idea of a free aspect, but I don't want to just like make it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that.
He certainly knows that Kalima's there now, so like cover blown is a little harder to see.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I'll just pay for it.
Okay.
I'll put
Kalima's aspect. What are you invoking?
oh yeah,
Caprine Matriarch.
probably. Yeah, we'll do that. She's a beast.
She's a queen beast.
Queen Beast Goat.
So that's total 6.
I had a 5, so you're 1 over me. Okay, that is going to deal a consequence.
Nice.
Yes.
So
Temperance?
Kalima gets this
Hell yeah.
consequence next time or whatever.
Correct.
Gets a free invoke.
Correct. I think I'm gonna call it a hairline fracture because I'm imagining that even though he's got this like shield that he's invoked up, like he's got it like kind of held with his hand like I was describing before, and this time when she headbutts
like,
and his
starts
hand
to-
impacts, it's like there's something that snaps in his
Totally
arm.
that thing with the goat-
Yeah, and you hear him like,
goat
oh!
and just
Yeah, totally.
like-
Yeah.
rears up and
Yes.
sick.
Also, can I move
Yeah.
Yiirik?
Yeah.
I think he would take a few steps back. I don't think he would run, but
Yeah.
I think he would take a few steps back.
He's a little bit outside the tent now.
Yeah, so maybe not
tent.
immediate range, but short range
Yeah.
or whatever. I forget the.
I think 10 feet is like short range.
So
So
these
like
would be
anybody here
short.
is like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a zone. You can move
I'm in the
as long
next
as
zone
nothing is.
out. Yep, and that's it.
All right, back to the top. I think my movement. I'm gonna have the Snowvine just drag this dude underground if that's cool. If not, he's just working on it. It's actually important.
No, it's not that. I'm having thoughts. So Well, I don't know how much that I can compel your Snowvine to do, but your Snowvine is undiscerning, and I want to make it attack a wrong person here
Okay.
in this moment. If I compel it to.
I mean, whenever you compel anybody, they have to pay to like refuse the compel.
Yep.
So I could pay to refuse the
Yep.
compel, or I can just accept it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so
Having
if you
thoughts.
take the compel, you get a coin. I thought it was that you just refused to get the coin.
No, you have to pay if the GM compels you.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought if the GM compels you, you're doing it in.
I'm either giving a coin to him or he's giving a coin to me to refuse it. So it's like doubly expensive, right? If you accept, you're 2 coins up.
Okay.
If you refuse, you're 2 coins down.
Ugh, are you suggesting that he would attack Yiirik?
No.
I'm thinking Alexi.
Alexi. Which I know Alexi has stress, so he can probably take it, but it's more so it's going to be causing some more drama.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I want people to talk about
But
this.
does
later.
this?
I'm gonna refuse it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
Wow.
Does this usually?
I was ready.
Does
to
it go to me or does it go to there?
I don't know.
Okay. We can get that later.
I think it like starts to rear up, like it's gonna strike Alexi.
No.
But
And Furla's back here.
yeah, but Furla screams and it like retracts and slides back into the.
It does one of those kung fu zoom in moments where it's all like up here and then it like zooms into Furla and she's back there and she's like, no,
I like
you
to
do
think,
not attack Alexi.
I like to think that I had like some flesh left over that was seared from the guy.
Threw
and
it at it.
I like kicked it off or whatever at the snowman.
And they grabbed it.
But
Had a nervous laugh and turned back towards the battle.
it would have been really nice to have the token, but that's a line I don't necessarily want to cross.
Not yet.
Having it attack other players, that's the quick road to having it banned.
That's true.
All right, so Furla is standing atop the hill and has been intently focused on this was from last session.
Yep. Okay. I couldn't find that. I was looking for it.
I just kept it with my thing so that
Okay.
I would not forget it. But they were focused on the pine trees in this area and getting the pine bound aspect. And so Furla has. Wait, I got the hood.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
So Furla can't see what she's doing.
Can't see anything.
But she can see through the trees.
Yeah. They
Excuse me.
can feel and see through the trees.
Plant bending.
And what are they doing?
They are attempting to entangle to create an advantage against the judge.
Okay.
By having roots like burst out of the ground and grab hold of start to wind around.
Is it the
his
judge or
legs.
does this say soldier?
They're soldier pines.
Oh, soldier pines, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so I'm
Which I
using
love the
nature magic to create an
Yeah.
advantage.
George Martin.
He's good with names.
It's good with the names. I got a 4. I'm using that, so I got a 6. I might create an advantage.
Yeah, I think that succeeds.
He would probably make a defense.
Does it yeah. Okay, yeah. You were saying that defend can be used
Against someone creating an advantage against you, yeah.
so he can use his prayer. Oof. I got a 3.
Then I succeeded with style.
Yeah, you did.
Nice.
So I think he's a root bound. And with the style, it gets an extra.
Yep.
So he's entangled effectively. You guys can invoke that.
Baller.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Furla's doing the thing with the fingers. And Alexi.
All right. Well, after having defended against the guy who attacked me, I'm just going to basically wind up the sword almost like a bat, and just with the broadside actually just like swing as hard as I can to attack him, but for flavor I'm like bashing him out towards the other 10. So yeah, I'm just gonna take a big ol' swing. That was supposed. Was that there? I swear I just looked at this and. Whatever. I was like,
I don't know,
I was
you
like,
tell me.
everything was. I swear it was like this, and I feel like I like moved it, and I was like, was that one there? I'm just gonna take it.
I don't know. All I know is I had a 3.
Well, I have a 3, so
A tie. Okay, so
Yeah.
you get a boost.
another boost.
Unless you're spending a fate point to. Or yeah, you could use your boost. You're hot-blooded.
Are you targeting the judge or what? The other guy?
I'm trying to remove all the other guys.
Yeah, the bailiff.
I guess I will mark the boost.
Okay.
Blooded. I'll get through that.
So you're 2 over on him. All right, he takes the damage.
But he takes 4 from the
Oh right.
great sword.
Crush some ribs.
Okay.
Just imagine that like a Final Fantasy size sword. Like just
Buster sword.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh well, he does have armor 3, so he takes
massive.
3. So he takes 3 damage.
Cool.
Okay.
Also, for flavor, is Jim Jam over here? He's been making his way, sneaking his way over here.
Okay.
That's your. That's fine.
Okay.
It's helpful.
Oh, -1.
Who was it though? Nobody touched it, right?
Yeah, that's
Right?
true. So then it's
Lhanji.
everyone. No.
Everyone -1.
Is that
Everyone takes 1 physical stress.
I'm gonna have Navius go again. and interpose himself between Temperance and Yiirik.
Yeah.
And
Is this a mental
essentially try to
construct?
create a like outmaneuvered aspect. I don't have provokes, which I feel like would be the more direct way to go to try to create human shields.
down?
But
Well, I mean, I think that if you're basically you're doing a human shield thing. I think the idea of what you're saying works.
Okay.
To say like outmaneuvered, and then if he attempts to do something, then you can invoke that in response to it, right?
I got a +5.
Wow, +5 to create an advantage against him. I also got a 5. So you get a boost, but not an advantage.
I will increase by 2. Navius intends to die to defend the quest. And if that means his body comes between the cook and his just desserts, so be it.
Okay, so then you do get an aspect.
And it's just desserts.
And your aspect is what, outmaneuvered?
Yes. You may find the law of the arm a bit short in the north.
And your target's shorter.
Your gods hold no sway here.
But Navius has to play it cool.
We got quite a few blocks stacked up on this person.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Deliver the
Okay, whose
crushing
turn is it? Mine?
Yep.
All right. I think he's trying to create an advantage here. He's gonna use his fight to attempt to grab onto Lhanji and spin her around and do like the hostage type situation.
Oh shit.
So I'm making a fight check. I'm currently at a 2 against you, Lhanji.
Defending with fight. Come on, girl.
Dude.
It's a +2.
You're at a 2? Alright, I'm gonna spend a fate point.
Oh.
I never lose a cent. Are you gonna invoke too?
Yeah,
I think you could justify some of this.
I think I'll take outmaneuvered, and Navius is her bodyguard. He's not gonna let anyone put hands on her.
Okay. Well,
You still get a boost, right?
yeah, I do still get a boost at that. So you could use root bound, I think would also be reasonable if you wanted to. You could, and then he wouldn't be getting the boost, but currently he's getting a boost but not an aspect.
I'll leave some things for other people. We can take the boost. It's dramatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Great. So he's got you flipped around, and I think this gavel at the head of it has like a spike, so he's got the point of this like up against your neck, and he's particularly like holding himself in a way where he's got his back exposed to Alexi, but he's staring down Yiirik.
What do you think, holding Lhanji hostage?
Yeah.
Danger prone.
Yeah, and he says, "Do you want her blood on your hands, Milksmith?"
I think the blood would be entirely on your
The other guy is going to attempt to attack Alexi.
resident meat sponge.
I have a 4.
I have a 5.
Nice. All right, so you don't
got the dice there.
you don't get hit.
That's that one gold tooth, man.
All right, that's it for me.
All right, Ash is up, and Yurik's on deck.
Okay, so I also
Again.
think that Yiirik, we were cooking right when this all started.
It was delicious too. Well, it was going to be.
Now it's burnt.
It's burnt. Yeah, I left
Yeah,
the lid.
those endives are done
those
for.
endives. I just needed like 5 more minutes with the lid on, but now they're burnt.
Ash turns around and puts out the fire.
Yeah,
I want to eat later. No, so your lid was still over by the fire, correct?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna sort of retcon a little bit and say that Taya's sort of been standing back, obviously. She's no good in this sort of scenario, but she saw Yiirik sort of stumble backwards out of the tent after taking that hit and being very dazed, and I think she went and grabbed his lid
Oh yes.
and had sort of been moving Jimothy style.
Tay and Jimothy run into each other on the stealth line.
What are you doing here?
What are you doing here? And see, she comes up. I think she comes up behind with his lid, sort of
Yes.
sort of just barely hefting it.
Yeah.
Just pushes it towards him. She says, "No one's taking one of our own, and no one else dies." Just hands him this giant lid, and she's trying to. I think I'm gonna.
Create an advantage.
Can I take care of his consequence right now?
No.
Even if it's a mental consequence? All right, I'm gonna just attempt to create an advantage then. Would that be simply for Yiirik? I mean, narratively, I guess it makes sense.
Pretty much.
I mean, as long as if anybody else were to maneuver behind this giant lid that you're planting down in front of
you're
them.
up right after this, so yeah, this is gonna be for Yiirik.
We'll roll first and see how it goes.
Right, yeah. -3.
Nice.
All right, so I'm gonna be using rapport for that. I think. Yes, I am going to be using rapport for that. So I got a 6.
Whoa.
Dang.
Dang. That seems like a succeeding with style, even though I don't really know what the DC was. That seems totally reasonable.
Cool.
So you hand me this giant lid and see that awesome thing. It's piping hot. It just came off the.
Yeah.
You can see the steam.
The encouragement of friends. Part of a team.
Yeah.
Stand together.
The shield that binds us.
The shield that binds us. Yeah.
Oh,
Because Yiirik is the shield that binds us. It's
Yes.
a shield that also feeds us.
Yiirik is
Hell yeah.
Definitely feeling that pressure, right?
has backed down up until this point. And when he grabs the shield from you finally, it's like you,
Which is
you
steaming
know
hot.
the difference between you carrying this it's probably 8 to 10 pounds or something. It's just a huge thing, right? And he just lifts it with ease. You can tell the difference between your strengths. But until this point, he had been very just thrown off, and he's ready now. And he nods to you, and just suddenly Battle Chef mode kicks in.
Yes.
And
Milksmith!
he takes off through the snow. His footprints, or his footstep, even louder than Kalima's. And he's coming for the judge. Yeah, and I'm just making a fight attack.
All right.
These are my rolls tonight, y'all. Okay.
Bummer.
Josh has no idea.
Josh doesn't understand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
right.
shield that binds us. Reroll.
I'm at a 5, just so you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do that shield.
And I'm gonna use one of the root rounds.
Okay.
So
Because we're
I
hitting
am,
the old R.
so I'm at 7 right now.
All right.
Yiirik comes tearing through the crowd and just
Ooh, can he also invoke the consequence that Kalima?
I think only the thing that dealt it,
Okay.
the character that dealt it.
what? Oh, that was the
Smelt it.
hairline.
Smelt it.
Do they only get that next round, or is it? It can be.
It can be
throughout the
whenever.
combat? Okay, cool. Yeah, so Yirik's back.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing because we have these other NPCs that we
Yeah.
don't normally have, but normally only that player can do it. And,
Yeah.
and so I think in trying to keep to that same rule, it's just that
It makes
character that
sense,
gets the
yeah.
invoke.
But you could still invoke other stuff.
But I am invoking holding Lhanji hostage. As you're charging up, he's like putting her in the way and like pressing this spike into her neck to where there's some blood that's starting to get drawn out.
Oh,
now.
I didn't realize that had happened. I would not have done that in this case. I thought that,
Okay.
there was some narrative boost, but not.
There were boosts on both sides, but in the end I tied, which meant that I got a boost but not an aspect.
It's a loose grip.
Yeah, so he doesn't have a good hold of her, but he has enough that he can invoke it the once for free.
Okay.
And you can back yourself up if you want to. You got the shield in your hands. Tay's handed you the shield.
Oh, keep going.
But yeah, I mean, you're at a tie right now on an attack, which is still getting a boost against him, and he's burned his thing.
Oh, okay. So he's basically let go at this point, right? Because he doesn't have that boost anymore.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Maybe you just came and got his arm, the arm that was.
Yeah, he was about to get a good grip, but just kind of knock it away. And yeah, he knocks his hand away from Lhanji and says, she may not be a. I'm not even doing his voice. I haven't even been thinking about.
-3.
I can't even.
Can't wait to go back and watch the trees keep falling
Yes,
off of
yes.
this thing.
He says something like, he may, these may not be Milksmiths, but this is my family now, and like blah blah blah. So takes that boost away and get my own, I guess,
Yeah.
against him. Boost of like
Don't touch my family. So don't touch my family.
You might be able to add an invoke to an existing thing instead of a boost. I think. So you could add one to your shield that.
yeah, that sounds good. Are other people using this too?
I don't think so.
Probably just for you, but it
Oh, okay.
makes
Unless
that's
someone
still
can-
Sort of
I'll
makes
just do that.
sense to
That
add
works.
it on there.
That works.
Okay.
So,
Fired up.
All right, back to the top. I think Furla is still atop the hill, waving fingers in the air.
I love how. Yeah.
Boo. I didn't even say what I was doing, but I'm just trying to add to that.
Wow.
I think he's gonna see this one coming.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's cool. I'll take it. I just added one. Alexi.
So if if you're defending to not have an advantage created,
Yeah,
and
he-
they succeed with style, then he's going to be getting a
He would
boost.
get a boost. How much did he succeed by?
I was using his prayer to defend, which is his high stat, so I had a 7.
That's
make
just
sense
not
to just
fair. You
roll
can defend
well.
against everything with his prayer.
No,
physical attacks, and you're saying that. Well, I mean, I guess you're right, but the idea is that you can use defend. If he was using fight or anything else to defend, he could
Yeah,
use
it would
defend
make sense.
narratively. So I don't know if it really makes a difference.
Yeah, no, it's
it's
cool.
that it's his high stat is his defend is his rolling to defend, but if it was his fight, it would also be his high stat.
Yeah.
and he would also be attacking with it. So.
That's cool. I miss. And he gets a boost. And
Would it make
Alexi's
sense to
up.
just take the last root bond off as like his?
No, 'cause
boost?
we- I mean,
It
I
does
would still
make
wanna use
sense,
that.
but those are kind of different things
Gotcha.
to like remove an
Okay.
invoke versus getting his own.
All right, cool.
Yeah, so he's bolstered in some way. It's kind of the worst to have someone defend with style and then get a boost, and you not only do you get nothing, but you wasted your turn.
I agree.
It's
That's
kind of
rough.
terrible.
I agree. I mean,
It's
that's,
like rolling a nat
I'm kind of
one
just
almost.
realizing that with the I don't think I've been doing that in the past. The defending with style was getting a boost. And you were
I was trying to do more
you were
root tangling.
entangling. Yeah, I don't know. He's sidestepped.
And Alexi's up.
Okay, well, first off, I know that Jim Jam is creeping up over here. It's barely out of sight, but I'm wanting him to have some interaction with Yiirik after this fight. I just didn't want him to be like over here and be like, oh, by the way, he's over here now, and like talking to him. So, to go after the underling again, or to showboat and attack Temperance. Okay, I am going to, I guess, pivot around since I am seeing an advantageous moment here. It's back turn, and how? So when we've been attacking him physically, he's got a lot going on in terms of like defending with physical attacks, right? Nobody's tried to do mental yet. And is that
Nobody's tried to do mental against him.
okay? It's not like he could.
He is a judge of Oldar, which you would assume that he's got a pretty good will as well.
Okay.
But
I'm not.
I
don't
will
know
just
anything
say
I
that
don't
outright
know.
Prey is his highest stat,
And
so
Prey
you know
is
that
his
his
will.
will at least is going to be lower.
Oh, lower than prey. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, because the pyramid is like you've always got one at the highest.
So I think I'm going to try to provoke him.
Yeah.
It is, but keep in mind that it is a different track, a different stress track, and you guys have dealt him physical stress, and he's looking bloodied.
Oh well, then never mind. I thought
Yeah.
that we had just been chipping away at him, and it wasn't.
No, he's definitely bloodied. He's down to a consequence.
Well, in that case, I'll attack him physically then.
Yeah.
Get in there.
That makes sense.
If you were doing mental damage, then it would start taking away at his mental track, and it would take more.
I was thinking in terms of my head, I was like, oh well, why don't we? get him
Absolutely, it was
somewhere
good. It was good thinking, but yeah, he hasn't taken any damage that way.
Okay. I just didn't want to I didn't want my character to have information he wasn't supposed to have, but if he could see it happening, then I'm
Yep.
gonna do it. So I guess I'm gonna pivot around and I'll pull my sword up and just try to plunge it into his back from here. So I'm gonna roll for that.
Okay.
Well, that ain't great. So take that away. That puts it at a 2 right now.
I'm succeeding with style.
So I guess I'm gonna try to use. Let's see. How many
Even if
shifts
you
above
use
is that?
something right now, you're at a 2. I'm 5 shifts above you.
5?
So a boost up, he would still be succeeding with style.
Okay. So even with the root bomb. 1, 2, 3. I would have to somehow boost it 3 times to even get up.
Well, if you boosted it. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'd have to do a root bound. I think there's a cover blown somehow. I could try to make that work. I don't know. But,
Yeah.
That one is.
Roll 3 negative dice.
yeah. So I should just. I could try to re-roll it.
You also still have. I don't know if close quarters really makes sense anymore, but
Yeah,
there's
that might
these
be
sleeping
bad.
cots you could invoke.
Okay, so
Like you're
if
making him trip over something.
If I just activate the root bound, that doesn't cost me.
That's free.
All right. Is that cool with that?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna give it a go.
Okay.
All right. Well, a 4 is better than a 2.
It's a lot better, yeah. But I am still at a 7.
Okay.
now.
So I would need to activate twice to hit him.
Yeah, essentially the same as before. Same spin plus 2. But I will say that if you hit him, he's going to take a consequence, and that would be his last consequence.
Okay, so I guess I'm
Like,
going
he'll
to-
still be up, because you're up until you can't take anything more.
Right.
But he would be completely marked full of
You
consequences.
can invoke outmaneuvered.
Okay, so I'll invoke that one.
It costs you a point.
Right. So I gotta find a second one. I can't invoke a boost that's been spent, right? That's gone now. Right. Okay. And I already invoked root bound, so I can't invoke that again. Could I invoke then the sleeping cots? Like using that? Alright,
Yep.
so then
You just have to spend a point to do it.
one, the sleeping cots, as I'm like trying to push in, I guess I kicked up the sleeping cots at him to try to like put it over his head or whatever. And then at the same time I'm doing outmaneuvered, which would make sense because I've got him from the backside and he's kind of being pushed back against it. So it's almost
Totally.
like as if he's being pushed right into my
You're pinning him between
sword.
yourself and
so
Navius.
that's 2 more points.
I
Okay.
think behind you see Ash just throw his hand up, and from his hand, sort of 2 flames come, and they just surround, like this, slide just around the back of you, and just cover your sword again. I'm gonna.
Oh, so are
just
you
gonna partner
helping
up
me?
again? Yeah.
Aid.
So in that case, do I need the second token?
My result was a 7.
So I
Your
had a
result was a
4.
4.
So then
and then you
did
paid
6.
1 for that to get to 6. You did 1 for that to get to 8 to be 1 over him.
And then that would put me at 9 over.
That would put
2
you
over.
at 2 over.
Sorry, 2 over.
So yeah, if you had not invoked the last thing, it would have been a tie.
Which would only give me a boost, right?
Correct.
So I'll keep with the 2 points spent.
yeah.
Does the 2
Yeah, then
does
you
2
don't
make
have
a
to-
difference for 1 or 1 over versus 2 over? Is that
It doesn't in this case.
all right, never mind.
Because it's really just that his stress track is full, and so he just has to take a consequence now.
Right, okay.
And it has to take a moderate consequence because the hairline fracture that he took from Kalima earlier
Nice.
is already filled that spot, right? So
We can say
so
for
so what
flavor,
is the consequence? This is a moderate, so that's pretty serious.
we can say for flavor, he still has like steam coming off, and it
Right.
still has like a residual glow towards the tip.
Yeah.
And I'm plunging that in. I
Pierced.
I think pierced, yeah, like moderate, kind of like straight up. swordness.
Yeah, I think it's like a searing, like
Yeah,
pierce.
pierced with hot blade,
Stabbed in
something
the
like
back.
that.
Like hot butter.
Backstab.
Hot blade pierce. Whatever.
Something
We
in
know
there.
what it means. Okay.
Searing hot stab.
Yeah, so you stab into him, and I think Navius from the other side with his sword has a sword into his gut, and he's like pinned in both sides.
I am the lost.
Yeah. Whose turn is it?
Lhanji.
Ooh.
Finish it.
Yeah, he does. He wouldn't take much.
You should verbally attack him.
You stupid.
You
suck. This is what you get when you fuck with us. You fail.
Yeah, I think Navius will go for the killing blow. Or not killing blow, but Navius will take a swipe now.
It will be a killing blow.
That is pretty epic. +7.
Can we retcon that you're just like back slapping him across the face?
Navius drops the rapier,
Puts
takes
on a
his
glove.
glove
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! Do nothing.
And I like to think that it's like
Lady
it's like
free.
steel tip, like a steel-toed boot, but with like a glove. Which should
Okay, I'm at
His forehead.
I'm at a 6. I could invoke the sidestep, but I don't think I'm going to. I think this seems like it's played itself out in the right way.
Yeah.
He's pinned between both of those blades. Yeah, Navius is dealing the killing blow here. How does he do it? Just like slowly sinking the blade in.
Straight through the heart. No,
Yeah.
it's clean. It's
This is a like silhouetted shot of the
Right.
judge in the middle and the two like
Yeah.
fighters standing on both sides with their blades stuck into him.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I actually see yours poking out almost like just to the right.
Okay.
And as this is
Yes.
happening, he's looking at Yiirik, and he says, "The Milksmith name will be forever tarnished. The world will know of your crimes." He's coughing up blood.
not if we kill the bailiff.
You're a long way from the rest of the world.
I think Snowvine's hungry.
I know, it's like watching.
This old odds justice will never rest.
Yiirik.
Snowline.
It's like a shark. It smells blood.
Yiirik drops his shield in the snow. Yeah, it's nice and hot. It sizzles.
This was a very heated battle. I like it.
It's like warmth,
It
warmth and
says-
cold juxtaposed.
We are the
Friend. I don't see any Oldar anywhere around here, do you? Seems this story ends here.
Yeah, and he just like
You may take it to your grave.
he croaks and he's still being supported by these two swordsmen, like holding him up, but his body kind of starts to go limp.
Immediately, Snowbun.
Wait, we need his coat. It's cold.
It like opens up its freaky petals and then makes like a weird like like a weird purring noise because it does.
Because it's happy at people dying in front of it because it knows it's going to get fed. It's like when you go to open up a can of cat food for your cat.
Yeah.
What is your weapon? What's your character's? Because I see your ice.
Cast iron pot.
Okay. So he doesn't have that hammer. I'm just envisioning for some reason. His model has that.
No, I think we use that just because it's a dwarf.
He's got the big shield.
It's the cast iron lid that he holds it like a shield, so he does like shield bashing stuff.
Captain American style.
Nope.
Okay, so yeah, the judge dies. I don't know whose turn it is. The bailiff is still standing there.
Oh,
That was Lhanji.
Sorry.
How does he not?
So the
take
bailiff
frick
would be
off?
next.
he would.
He throws down his club
Yeah.
and
good
puts his hands
call.
up.
Good call.
Snowvine attacks.
On its turn.
I know, this is an even more compelling thing, is for this to happen. This is what I was hoping for.
Should I?
What are you guys gonna do with this bailiff?
What's his name? Should I add him to the roster?
There's a roster.
That's what Lhanji is totally.
Can you make a
about
map?
to
Whose
swoop
turn
in
is
and
it?
Say, I have a deal
It's
What kind of skills does he
my
have?
turn.
Ash's turn.
Oh, he's definitely
Hey,
not
get
gonna
in
be
there.
joining you
You can
guys.
hire.
You're trying to
You can make
recruit him.
hires.
Yeah, I thought that was established early on. We can't replenish our reserves.
I
Yeah.
absolutely would like to pass my turn to Yiirik, right? Because you can pass.
I don't feel like we have to be an initiative anymore. He's
Okay.
throwing down his weapons.
All right, then I'm going to basically just stand there and look at Lhanji to see what to do.
Yeah.
Bailiff.
The judge's gavel is sitting on the ground. Bailiff, yeah.
I have a deal for you.
What kind of deal?
Oh yeah, talk to me, bailiff. Thank you. Yeah, what kind of
Does this deal involve my life?
You, out of the corner of your eye, probably see that Kalima is raking her leg,
Yeah.
looking at this.
As he says, does this
person.
deal,
Yeah, he's looking at Kalima like it.
does this deal involve my life? Kalima's on the ready. Negron is cleaning his blade.
Yeah. And the snow vine is like very slowly wrapping
Yeah.
some vines around the.
And a bailiff dice.
Bailiff tempted rosemary polenta.
What's the meat for this evening? We don't need the dice. We have it already.
Yeah, good call, Kirby. It would probably not end well with having the bailiff. He would light some tents on fire and ruin everything.
Yeah.
To be fair, I would want to find out who tipped off about these rumors.
That's a great idea to trade information.
I mean, that's what Jimothy's his first plan of action is going to be as soon as he's got the chance. So, unless you guys find out,
Jimothy should walk into this scenario now.
well, absolutely, because well, no one else knows that. But
Well, I know what Furla's doing, and it won't interact with you guys at all. It's no surprise, but it's like going through all of their saddlebags and pouches and everything, and just looking for food.
Well, you find a head.
Well, you're probably going to have to do something to try to find these horses because you've shooed them off.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So they're not immediately here, and it's also 8:30, and we just finished a fight, so I think it'd be a good time to take a break, and we can get to all this stuff when we get back. People can be thinking about what they want to do in the meantime with all this information.
Drama time.
And drama, yeah.
Time to talk.
Drama time.
welcome to Andromeda.
Tune in after the break.
All right, you guys ready?
We will be. Give me 30 seconds as I set the timer. 15 minutes. And you guys ready?
Yeah.
You have no idea how long
Yo,
that
yo.
been around.
Ham bits.
Ham bits.
Have you had your ham bits today? That's the question of the stream.
This stream brought to you by Shoney's.
Yes.
By ham bits at Shoney's.
Shoney's.
Local strip club here in Nashville. I mean, food chain.
No, it's definitely a strip club. Let me tell you, strip clubs are nicer and more well kept than the Shoney's.
It's a strip chain.
No.
All right.
Oh.
Best ham bits this side of the Cumberland.
Yes, and that's just a teaser of what they got. Wait till you get to the dessert bar. Chocolate pudding for days.
Oh my god! And,
all right.
and don't forget the bonus protein with roaches, man.
All right, so the cold body of this judge slumps to the ground of this what was a tent. The top of the tent is blown off and is like partially hanging up in this tree.
I say we eat him.
And the bailiff is standing here, and Lhanji has proposed a deal, and he's asked if that deal involves his life, him keeping his life.
Yes, walk with me.
He does.
All right. Yeah.
He knows that he's the only way he's getting out of this is if you guys allow him to get out of this.
Yeah. So we're just gonna walk into someone else's tent since ours was blown away.
I blow this one away too.
Yeah. Blowing up their tent skirts.
Yeah.
And then I'll give a little report here.
Dipping her pigtails in the ink.
I got a +4 report. Tell us all the details you know about Yiirik's case, and we will let you walk free.
He does. I'm not gonna role play it, but yeah, he tells you that, I mean, as far as he knows, he believes that the judge was completely telling the truth, and that he has been compiling this information for a couple of years, and that he wasn't involved in any of the like other testimonies or any other things, but that the judge has got all of this information together and got direction from Oldar to seek him out. When the judge realized that Yiirik was going on this mission to this place, he acted immediately and called upon the court to make a judgment, and they did. So the judge was then sent out with the bailiffs. Yeah.
And what will be protocol when Temperance never returns?
Well, they're gonna want an explanation.
How long do we have before alarm is raised?
Well, I mean, I feel like... Are you asking him this? Sorry. Well, your character knows that I feel like it's taken you guys, I don't know, if maybe a month and a half or something at least to get here, right? So it would seem like it would take him at least that long to get back.
Or like 3 months before they would be like, he should be back by now.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I see what you're getting at, yeah. How long could you stay silent before you had to come forward and say something?
Or I'm like, is this guy gonna make it past the walrus shark thing?
The walrus.
Yeah, because he...
That's the walrus.
The fine print on this deal here was, we are literally letting you walk away from the camp with your life.
Yeah.
So, if you make it back, good for you.
You pointed in that direction, but I actually shifted your point and then was like, that's actually a better direction because that's where your horse is headed.
So, I was thinking, like...
And I'm curious how Yiirik feels about all this.
The church may know...
Lhanji walked off, right?
That's true.
Yes, this was
That's true.
done in
Yes.
confidence.
Oh,
Though,
I wasn't there then.
if people wanted to follow Lhanji would not have turned them away. It's just, this is the kind of conversation that has to happen out of the weather because we only have so much chapstick that saves lives.
Yeah, you're in another tent. In this tent.
Shit, stick.
But totally, would anyone have come with?
I'm torn because I kind of want to have a conversation of similar nature with Yiirik.
Milksmith is milking his wounds.
Does that mean you're like a pro footballer? You're rolling on the pitch, screaming, and pretending like your shit is cut.
I'm so hurt.
No, he's
in the ice bath.
He's literally milking his wounds.
Getting some
Rubbing
blood for the
goat's
Columbus.
milk on
It's
it.
like a nice cream.
Yes,
I've got.
yes. Tay followed Lhanji just because she's
Yeah.
just following Lhanji.
Yeah, I think that
in the
Yiirik
tent
would be
as well.
kind
Follow
of...
her move.
Because Yiirik looks messed up.
Okay, well, here's what will determine if I want to come along. Will we have the information of
Like
who
this happened?
provided the evidence? Would he know that? That would determine whether or
I'm
not...
sorry.
So the thing, I guess, this would determine whether or not it's worth Jimothy coming along. Would the bailiff have knowledge of who tipped off Temperance and the others of this guy doing any wrongdoing? You said evidence, right? So does that mean that?
Yeah, I mean,
No? And if not, then like I was like, well, that's
yeah.
I'm gonna attack.
I mean, further, like you were asking for whatever. I mean, the judge had pulled out like a scroll that he had read off of, right? And there's information on there of like people who have had who have testified or whatever, who he's subpoenaed to get this information.
All right, I'll come along.
He's completely compliant.
Yeah.
So I'm coming along.
I mean, good move, because we could still kill him anyway.
Where is?
Yep.
Oh, he's hanging around over here. He's
I
wherever the hell
appreciate that he's going along with it, just in case we let him live.
I guess there.
So I guess we would either have until this guy comes back and rats us out, if he survives the journey home, or until the church would start suspecting, being like, we were...
At a minimum, like a month and a half, but then also you guys are so far away and you're continuing further north that before that then would get back to you would be another 2 months. I mean, the question is, will you guys be able to return to the kingdoms? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know who's going to survive the expedition, but when you do, if you find
Maybe
a dragon's trove,
Yeah,
if
we
you
should-
find a trove of knowledge, whatever it is that you find, will you be able to return?
Yeah, I mean, you should highlight exactly like what sort of like jurisdiction the judges have, so people understand the consequences of killing a judge.
Yeah, I mean they're like across all of the kingdoms, even though the kingdoms are like fractured. They are like allowed to pass between all of them, and they have power in all of them.
This is not like killing a local sheriff.
Yeah.
Not that not on a range of like good or bad.
This is like,
this be
this is
like-
like killing an
It
FBI agent
also-
or something, or Pinkerton.
Yeah. Also, it all depends on what the bailiff tells them, right?
Yeah, which,
I think I'm going after the horses that I sent away.
no.
We can eat them.
Oh, okay. You do you.
And I wasn't really thinking about the fact that they would have saddlebags and all their food would be on those. So I'm going to go after those.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a
Survival.
roll.
Take a.
I'll say
what's his name?
it's like a.
Babs. What's her name? Babs.
I don't know. It's
His
like
name?
a
Babs.
2.
I forgot Babs is still alive.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, you got it.
If it's survival, I got a 7.
Yeah. You succeed
Do you
with
have
style.
any consequences?
You get all of them back?
Yeah. You find all the horses.
I do have a consequence.
And
what, is it
yes,
mental or
they
physical?
have food on them. They have
Mental.
Okay.
well, there's only 3 of them, so they didn't require nearly as much food. But I'll say in terms of like your guys' invokes for your numbers, they had like 2 invokes worth of food on them, because you guys are feeding
Yeah.
25 or something. They were feeding 6 with their horses.
I'm just going to... If we let this dude go, I'll just let him keep...
Well, I guess it should be 4. It should be 4 invokes because you succeeded with style.
I'll give him 1, so let's keep 3.
Maybe.
Lhanji will bribe him with those resources.
Yeah,
Essentially saying...
I go to give him his...
And Lhanji,
Okay.
Lhanji takes the reins and says, "Take your time getting back." And I'll rapport that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a +5.
You succeed with style.
So wait, is he leaving at this point? Or?
Yeah, I'm confused.
Yeah, we were not role playing the nitty gritty of
Okay,
the
never mind that.
interrogation, but
Got it.
I mean, is he saddling up right now?
No,
Okay.
I think there's a negotiation still happening. But that is the discussion that seems to be happening, is that it seems like he's going to be let go, and she's suggesting that if he takes his time, that she'll give him more food. And you succeeded with style, so he, yeah. He says, "Suppose I could spend some time in the Exjaw village. Lose myself there for a while."
I hear they have great berries that you could snack on.
Oh, I actually grew up in the Exshaw village. Tell them Furla sent you.
oh!
That's hilarious.
Oh, that'll replace one of the guys we killed. See, overnight.
Yeah, and he narrows his eyes and he says, I know what the village thinks of you. We stopped there on our way too, remember?
Man, you really can't run from that, can you?
No. Curse of the land.
Well, they came through after you guys,
Right,
and we're
yeah,
looking for you.
And it's a small village. It's like that's a very exciting thing to talk about.
Yeah, totally. It was on everyone's lips.
I say, and you know what I think of you and your god, and you see like the corpse of the Judge of Oldar still being kind of dragged into the snow.
And I wonder what the village will think of you, knowing that you returned by yourself, having failed to defend your honor, your friend, and your judge. It's going to be quite a predicament, isn't it?
Says I don't give a walrus's ass what the village thinks of me.
Do walruses have asses?
Two.
Yeah.
Two.
Two asses.
An ass
Double
on
ass.
either side of the tail.
Yes.
Ooh, that's intense.
Yiirik would probably slump over at this point to this conversation.
Are you slinking away, or
No,
No,
toward.
he's
toward?
he's
toward, yeah.
harumping.
Got it.
Harump.
He looks
He,
over.
he says, if you want to know of the man's crimes, ask him yourself.
Fair
When he
point.
walks in.
Stop talking. Do you
Well-
all really think we're going to let this man walk out of this game?
What difference does it make here?
What difference does it make? Not all of us are nobles. Not all of us can escape the hands of the judges. What says you, Jimothy?
Kelly.
Can you simply walk away from the hands of a judge? You partook in the killing of one today. You expect to go home?
Don't look at me. I didn't raise a sword one bit against a judge.
Yes, but it's
My hands are clean here. I'm probably the only one who hasn't had any problems or despicable things that have happened on this
Do
journey.
you think that's what?
Certainly not.
I'm the only person.
I'm but your lowly healer here to tend to your wounds and make sure that we can arrive at our destination. I have no idea
my
what you're
God.
talking about.
Well, this bailiff
Now.
certainly knows your name now.
Well,
This is
I mean-
not a threat.
but everyone knows of the Milksmiths. I don't know if they know of my name. You know, I'm just a nobody, you know, just not like...
A nobody with a made-up name.
It's Jimothy Chrysopherson, no relation. Now then, if we were to assess these rumors and deal with them, I think that probably the most important course of action is to find out where these rumors are coming from. Because after all, you couldn't have dared, stolen any dragon eggs. That's preposterous, of course. You are a peddler of milk and milk accessories and products. So, let's not worry about, who did what and who stole what and who's running some sort of underground smuggling ring. That's not important here. What we need to focus on... Not pointing any fingers. After all, I'm just a lowly snake oil salesman. I wouldn't know anything about running an underground empire, of course. But... let's focus on where these rumors are coming from.
Is that really your focus here? We're climbing up a mountain.
Well, of course, that is the most immediate issue at hand.
No, the issue at hand is whether this man returns and turns our names in. And the only one able to escape that sort of thing would be one of us, I imagine. That is what's at hand.
I very much doubt the judges care for my pedigree, Yiirik.
Are you sure? You seemed quick to try to bargain with one.
That was on the technicality that you were hired by me. He did not seem of an economical mind.
None of them are.
Well, some of them hear that money talks. Eyes at the bailiff. Or in this case, a horse and food.
Bailiff, what is your next rank after this? When you get a promotion, what does that look like?
Hardly after he comes scurrying back with his tail between his legs.
He says, I ain't heading for the seat of the court, if that's what you're asking. I'll never be a judge. I'm not noble born.
Strange how that
Empathy?
matters.
Is that what I
to
do
your god.
in order to
I'm
assess
making
like
this shit
a sense motive sort of thing?
Sure, yeah.
Empathy?
Yeah.
I have none. Nope. That's not gonna do it. Probably -1.
Okay. Well. Yeah, seems to be telling the truth.
What's this dude's name, Josh?
Doesn't have one. Do we want to put it to the chat?
Chat, what's this guy's name?
Everyone supply one letter.
H, J.
Or Daniel, would you like to try to come up with something spontaneously?
How about Chucharon?
No, never mind. I got you.
There's 14 chas in there.
I like to think that we ask him and he's having a speech impediment because he's scared.
See, here's how I name things. I see we called him Shifty Bailiff, and then I say his name is Shiva.
Yeah.
I just took Shifty and Bailiff and cut off enough.
That's brilliant.
Bad.
Sheebliff.
I like it. I like Shiva. Yeah.
Shiva. Now then, Shiva, was it? Well, perhaps it was Chucharon. I couldn't. But,
Sounds so alike.
one thing I wanted to know, though, is where did you get these horrible rumors that were being peddled about our dear Milksmith over here? I think it's quite important to find out who's peddling these rumors, because after all, if there's a person out there that happens to know of something or spreading some rumors, they might be spreading rumors of all of us. And, I don't know about you, but I definitely don't like having information brokers out there spreading rumors and not to know about them.
He says, if your plant thing gets our horses back, then I think you'll have your answers.
I think you'll find, my good friend, that that's not quite part of the deal. That was merely something done in kindness for you.
Their plant thing has already gotten your horse back.
You're back on the scene now.
Yeah.
You come walking in
Who
at that
all
moment.
is in here? I'm curious.
Jim
is
Jan's in
Ash,
here.
It
is
sounds
Tay?
No, Ash is not. Tay is.
Yeah.
It's the people that are all here, I think.
I
We
imagine.
got them all.
Navius.
Navius is nearby, but
Navius is outside.
To make it a bit more intimate.
I posed the question to the group. What is to be gained of this man leaving? Who wins? Who loses?
Tay says, well, we don't need to see another death on our hands.
Your death will be at the hands of the judges. That is what I'm claiming.
Yiirik, they had a mark. Whether he returns or not, they know exactly who was with you, and they will find us with this man's testimony or not.
So you think it's safe to have him return?
I think it's inconsequential, honestly.
How do they know the judge
If
even
he
found
survives
us?
the return voyage,
How would anyone know if they ever even found us?
they wouldn't hear from the judge.
So they died by walrus. Excellent.
I want to pull your.
I very much
The bailiff
doubt-
is like looking around as you guys are having this conversation. Like, are they talking about killing me or not?
I want to pull Yiirik in for a second and try to whisper in his ear. Listen, if you want to go about this, you're doing it entirely wrong. You're being far too obvious. We need to pull back a little bit.
Obvious about what? I speak in full volume.
You're suggesting killing the man. Do you not understand what you're trying to do here?
Of course, I'm trying to say I'm going to kill him.
This,
We just killed 2 of them. Why wouldn't we kill the 3rd?
This deal is going to fall apart if you keep insinuating that he's going to die.
Is the deal?
it's still looking
I'm
like.
confused about
Totally.
what we gain.
We got his information, Yiirik.
Don't you want to expose yourself? You need to handle this one discreetly.
Nothing to hide, my friend.
Clearly not, and we had
Well,
3
let's
freaking
check
people.
the saddlebags, Jimothy.
Oh, that's a great idea. Which saddlebags? Certainly not mine, right?
My saddlebags? What about my saddlebags?
Yeah, so
Why would you check my saddlebags?
What's wrong with them?
we have
We should go.
of the like I assume we have the at least a list of people who testify.
Yes.
If
So
not,
is somebody going to the saddlebags and looking through them and trying to So if
we're
you
gonna
take
check
a
your
little
saddlebags.
time.
Oh yeah, I already went through them for food, but I wasn't really thinking about that. But yeah.
All right, cool.
Maybe it's
Furla had tossed out the journal like a mile back down the road when she was digging for food. You're always like, nope, no information. It's just soaking into the mud on the road. No, it's still in the saddlebag, and there's basically a heavy leather bound journal that he has been keeping where he has notes, and after 15 minutes or something, kind of digging through it, dating back to even before your case, but then notes of because on the scroll, you guys roll out the scroll, it has a date on it. You go back to that date in the journal, you find it, and then you start tracking from there. And there are other people who he has busted who were involved in the circles that you were involved in, who said that you had sold them eggs. At least that's what he has written down.
All right. So what are the names? I was throwing out Rusi, but
I don't have the names,
okay.
but there were people seemingly from Yiirik's past who he has sold eggs to, and who got busted, and who leaked the information when being pressed by the judge.
Well, who's this Chad or Rusi or Thoth? I don't know. There appear to be a couple of names here. How do they relate to you?
I don't understand what you want from me right now, Timothy.
We have an evidence here. I want to know who these people are. If we're going to have people peddling horrible and detestable rumors, we need to at least be aware of it.
I will suggest again that this discussion is not about my past. It is about what to do with this man. And you are saying to let him go for what?
Why not?
What?
I'm just suggesting we do not kill him yet until we have this information. We've got these names, but we need a little bit more from him. We need to find out where their locations are now.
That can benefit you.
If we let him go into the wild, then he will be food for nature. But if we kill him here, then he will be food for us.
Perhaps he'll spread another rumor himself and say Yiirik died or something like that. They only found his corpse. We don't know. You kill this man. You close off this hole.
You seem to want him to live, Jimothy.
All I'm suggesting is that we need more information from this man. We could leverage this to help us. You kill this man, and he'll come back with 6.
I'm glad we've had this moral discussion in front of him. Because now our options seem rather pointed in one direction rather than the other.
Listen, our options are 2. 1, we let him go, and he potentially goes and tells what happened here. Or 2...
Not potentially.
What does he gain from you if he leaves here alive?
What do I gain from him?
Yes.
He gains his life.
What tie does he have to keep his promise?
By the jowls of what was the guy's name?
Uldar.
Uldar. By the jowls of Uldar, are you not a man of action? If you want to kill the man, here's a dagger right here. Go ahead and kill him right now, then, if you're so sure that you can do it, if you can stomach it.
I've stomached a lot of things, Jimothy.
Well, go ahead. Show us what kind of man you are, then.
Tay steps in. She's like, we have had 2 of our own dead on this journey. When these men rode up on us, we acted in self-defense, in defense of one of our team, one of our family. Now, there's but one, and that act of self-defense is no longer something we can call upon. If we spill this blood now, this is blood on our hands simply because we want to kill a man.
All I'm saying is if we don't handle this situation correctly, we're not going to end up with just 2 people on our hands. We're going to end up with more, and they're going to kill us. They're going to bring another judge or 2, and perhaps even a larger platoon. We need to handle this thing with tact, with diplomacy.
I think that's quite out the window now, Jimothy.
Well, idiots.
He has no tie to tell the truth when he gets back.
Only
That is all.
a career serving the god of truth.
Therefore,
Good point.
he would tell the truth.
We could let nature decide and strip away his food and his
Honestly,
horse
Yiirik,
and
do you think he'll survive on his own? Do you think you could make the trip
see if he
back?
can
I would have been up the wall already.
Of course
I don't know.
So why put the man through any more pain?
Why don't
Perhaps he
kill him?
does survive. Then we acted.
Poorly in our interest, Lhanji. As
Poorly-
he will tell the truth
Poorly-
to his group.
You said you had nothing to hide.
What?
I have nothing to hide.
Indeed. What is this truth? We have another conversation we're going to have later on. Listen, I will not have you compromising this mission to the North Pole and putting all of us in danger.
He
I've not
tells
come
the
this far just
truth.
for you to fuck it up.
Or Temperance's absence tells the truth.
Perhaps
or
I'll put it
perhaps
this
something
way
yet more
for you all.
dangerous.
You're not understanding that if we all make it back, and so does he, the only person who's in trouble is the person that the court is after.
Or all of us because we're all accomplices to killing a fucking judge.
Who knows of that?
They're going to know when their boys don't turn up that something has happened and they're going to bring a larger
North?
force.
They'll
How could they
assume
prove it?
either way. How could they prove? How could they prove it?
How could
Do
they prove we
care?
killed them?
They have a deity and the church behind them.
So you're
they
suggesting we're
prove
screwed
whatever point
either
they
way?
wish. Absolutely, Yiirik.
Then I'm going to kill the man.
You may take over negotiations. Lhanji leaves the tent.
Or he will find that we showed mercy to this man and let him leave.
Does Monty
the
storms
snowvine
out?
is purring
Monty storms
outside
out?
of the tent.
That is the thing that happens. That's
yeah,
the end.
Lhanji told Yiirik
Okay,
he could
is
take
everybody-
over
is everybody
negotiations.
leaving?
Tay leaves with Lhanji.
Does Furla leave too?
Jay's like, murder, I don't.
Does Furla
I've
leave?
seen enough people die today.
for the killing.
Yeah. Does Furla stay behind as
But the
is-
group slips more and more evil.
Tay's doing everything she can.
Meanwhile, Jimothy is the moral compass for tonight's game somehow.
Jimothy just thinks more about his own self-interest than anyone else.
Jimothy's arguing for the man's life.
One last question: is Furla still in the tent?
I think Furla is still in the tent, but is basically coaxing the snowvine to stay back for a second, in the way that someone can hold the collar of a dog.
Okay, so wait, your character's in favor of killing. Is that
It seemed
where
like
it's leaning?
Furla
or
was in
these-
favor of sending him out.
Yeah,
Letting the
decide.
nature decide.
I mean, Furla is in favor of him dying and being fed to the snowvine
Truly
because
neutral.
it becomes food, as opposed to him dying out. in
Well,
the
I think the
wilderness.
snowvine is probably full
if we're-
because it's already eaten one person like 10 minutes ago. So I don't think it's also going to eat this guy.
So if
It's
our
always hungry though.
bodies with
It's
it.
always hungry.
It keeps the bodies under the snow.
What? That's
so that they're-
absurd.
all right, so
It's a vine, damn it.
quick question: if we do kill him, do we have to roll to kill him, or is it just flavor at this?
No, yeah, you guys can
Okay,
just go.
so everybody's left at this point. So I have the dagger that I've been holding out. Definitely
Jimothy puts the knife in him.
right in his throat.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
and keeps eye contact the whole time.
Hey.
With Yiirik.
Wow.
The
Absolutely.
bailiff hits the ground.
So Furla sees that and Yiirik sees it.
I'm just shoving him off, and I'm just wiping up.
He's trying to get his blood on Jimothy as he's in his final moments.
Well, Cactus, feed this man. Let's clean up this corpse.
Stop you shaking the cameras.
Turn at the
Sorry.
last God.
Too bad.
Yeah.
You're dealing with a bad character. So, all right. So now that we've dealt with that, I'm like, oh, actually, no. That's what he would say.
The blood on their hands,
Now
you
that we've dealt
guys.
with this loose end, we're going to have a conversation, my friend.
Indeed, we should.
Absolutely. Now, your heart was in the right place. Yes, indeed, we do need to clean up this loose end. That was probably a terrible decision. However,
There's already like vines growing around it.
the way you are going about that, my friend, if you want to play with the big boys, you're going to have to be a little bit more tactful next time. Now then, my friend.
Excuse me?
Well,
Milksmith, you can tell, did not take kindly to that.
I'll have you know, my friend, I also don't take kindly to you endangering this party, endangering me. I just want you to know that I'm sure that your rumors were greatly exaggerated. But here's the thing I want to know. If you have some sort of secrets out there, secrets that are endangering the rest of us, I think that perhaps it's time we laid our cards on the table. Now, I want you to know your best friend Jimothy over here won't tell a soul. That said, or doesn't want you to tell a soul. That said, you and I both know, in your perceptive old man, I'm a soulless bastard. So, rules still in play. Clearly, you've been peddling some sort of contraband that's been endangering this party, and I think it's time you told us at least who some of these men are that are on this list. This Thoth, this Rusi, this Chad.
Should we go for this?
Yeah, if you would like to, this can be a private conversation.
Unless Yirik's gonna like shut it down. But if this is gonna be like conversation.
If I kind of imagine Furla doesn't seem to give a shit about human like matters, and it's kind of like a hopefully like a neutral thing. Doesn't give a shit.
Jimothy can roll a rapport against Yiirik.
Oh, you were saying should we leave?
Yeah, I was just saying, should that be like a?
Everybody
sort of
left.
like-
Everybody left. That's why.
You know what I'm
No,
saying?
but
Should we, as
physically-
people,
The people.
Is this a
repre-
secret
yeah.
conversation that's taking place right
This
now?
is
like,
a
will
secret-
there be secret?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, for look.
If you guys don't, because I know. If it's,
Oh, like y'all are physically leaving.
I wasn't getting that either. I was like, yeah. Bye.
Okay.
You didn't see that I killed the guy either. just so
Everybody
you know.
get in those things.
Daniel, switch over to that chair.
Oh, okay.
Now then. Now that some of the other members have walked away, let's have ourselves a little private chat, shall we?
Furla steps out as soon as the corpse has been pulled underground.
The endlessly hungry.
I want you to know that I'm your friend here. That is 100% true. At this point, we are thick as thieves. There's no point in us trying to fight anymore. And I think that we should help each other. If we are indeed family, then if there's something that is endangering this team, you should let us know. And remember, I can keep your secrets safe.
The only thing endangering this team would have been letting that bailiff go.
Indeed, and I took care of it. Because you could clearly not stomach it. I handed you the goddamn dagger, but you didn't take action.
So we should be safe now, right?
For now, but who's to say? Their argument was still quite valid that if nobody ever came, there could be more. We're probably going to end up with another judge or two, or even like a whole platoon. This indeed is a problem, but we need to walk this back to the source. Who out there, whether they are also on a journey of their own, could be a liability? Who do we need to take care of in silence? This is the heart of what I'm trying to get at, Mr. Milksmith. When I say liabilities or loose ends, I need to know what sort of secrets or who would act in bad faith against us. Because if there's
Yeah, you'd have to convince him.
all right.
Yeah, he's not gonna tell you or like even let up.
Well, I'm gonna use deceive because I'm trying to get you to like believe that I truly want to act in your best interests,
Okay.
and not just because I'm a selfish, self-serving bastard.
And I'm using,
Reasonable.
I guess,
Empathy to see through deception, or will. I think either one would make sense, maybe.
okay.
4.
That was 0.
There isn't really rules for like people's like attitudes being shifted. So
Yeah, right.
However that you feel like you want to handle that.
Yeah.
That's always a weird thing that I don't really know if you're really intended to be rolling to try to. I mean, he could be dealing mental damage to you if you guys were like
I don't want to like cause harm to him because I'm not trying to like.
Yeah, I don't mean harm, but I mean like if you're having a discussion and you deal enough mental stress to him to where he then is like, I concede, then that discussion could have happened and nobody took damage, but it's a way of representing who's like winning in an argument.
Okay.
I will say this. My past may not be completely clean. However, how can I say who is going to be after us or not? I had no idea about this today. I had no idea this man was coming. Do you want to know who's after us?
Well,
Judges of Oldar.
Well, we've clearly figured that out. We've established that the judges of Oldar are after us. However, they had to have a reason to come after us. Clearly, they have this journal here with 3 or 4 names that say that you had some dealings with them, selling them some dragon eggs. Whether those are genuine or not, I do not care. But I need to know, is this claim true? Well, that's maybe not as important, but it'd be nice to know. But the more important part is, are these people a danger?
The people in the book are not a danger.
Then who are these
They
I don't
are
know, business people that you've been having dealings with?
men and women of industry.
I'm just having this like look. I'm like, what? What did I just hear? I'm like, I think we want to have to be a little bit more specific or precise with your answers here. I need to know that 1, we can still trust you, and 2, that our liabilities have been tied up. We killed our only source of information now, so we're going to have to go through you.
Unfortunately, I don't have to give you that information because you've already partook in killing a judge. You've made your decision.
Oh, I didn't
Even
kill a
if
judge.
you didn't lift a hand, Timothy, your group has. Now, I will tell you this. My dealings are important to me. And if you can keep that quiet, then perhaps we can arrange something later for you to understand what it is that I do. However, it's not going to benefit us to talk here now with 3 dead bodies laying around us.
Dead body? I don't see any dead bodies. All I see is a very fat snow vine just rumbling around in the ground. There are no dead bodies at this point. We have taken care of them.
Other than the judges, your life is not in danger. That is what I'll say. You...
But is it just the judges that are after us? I don't know. Especially if, as one who, well, knows what it's like to deal with some unsavory characters. I just need you to know.
Rolling rapport.
Okay.
It's a 3.
What do I need to roll in return?
It's more of a like, you could probably do like a will or like,
Well, I have the closest thing I have is deceive. That's the only thing I got.
no, that wouldn't.
So just
This
I
is
have
just
to
like
throw
him.
it in.
This is just him trying to be earnest and kind of convince you. Like,
In that case, I guess I just have like a 2 if you don't.
yeah, he literally doesn't know of anyone else coming. Like, he would. This has never happened before in my life. He names some old age for a dwarf, and I don't know how to fight this. However, I seriously doubt once we pass this base camp that there will be more troops on their way.
Somehow I'm just having a little bit of problem believing that this is all that you have to share. I don't truly think this is that you'll. I
Just
believe
asking
you.
Come clean.
I believe you, and that perhaps this one instance, this transgression, that the judges supposedly have been targeting you for now, possibly resolved. We do not know. Especially when there's someone who's clearly the primary profession is not dealing with Milksmith. They happen to be with peddling contraband.
Come out with it, Jimothy. What the fuck do you want?
I want you to come clean with me. I need to know. Clearly, you're hiding something else, and I need, for the good of the group, I need to know. After all, I'm your best friend here.
Are you threatening me?
Absolutely not.
This is a long journey.
think
on a very large hill with a lot of distance between us and normal population. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I believe I understand absolutely. Here's what you're going to have to remember, my friend. I am not threatening you at all, but I want you to know that...
Kalima does not
Let's
take kindly to threats.
remember the time that you have been thrashed about by various beasts and warriors out there, and the time that your dear poor Kalima was suffering from some sort of seasickness. Who was there to tend to both of your wounds? What would
agree.
happen if you were to...
But you're a good companion.
If you were to threaten me, and I would be
But I
unable
need
to
to
continue
know
to help you.
what you want.
I need you to come clean with me. I need to know that I can have full trust in you as a member of your family, as a member of mine.
You cannot. You can trust that I will get us up this hill. You cannot trust that my dealings have been legal in every aspect of my career. Though I will say this. Dragon eggs? Not yet.
Interesting. Dragon eggs, indeed. They are quite a rare sight. I don't know that I've seen them myself, and I've seen quite a lot in my dealings. After all, I've not always been a healer, a
I'm sure-
professional, sure, but
I'm sure that they would fetch a pretty penny.
so what do you know about contraband, my good friend? What sort of things have you dealt with in the past? I might be able to provide you with some advice. Advice on how not to get caught next time. Not to get tied up in with the constables and whatnot.
You understood that Yiirik was offering you something just then, right?
Oh no, I didn't.
That was basically him trying to be like, dragon eggs are worth something,
Oh.
and
I
if you
assumed
keep your
that-
mouth shut, you may be able to be rewarded.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
I didn't know if that was something he had just
No.
brought up, or if that was truly what I was trying to drill at.
Well, like, that's what Yurik's saying, is that he's certain that dragon eggs would fetch a pretty penny, and that if
Okay.
you were to go along with it, it could be.
He can cut you in on the deal.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't make that clear.
No, that's cool. I was still trying to to get towards where I was thinking in my head. I wasn't even thinking. All right, cool. Yeah, so I believe we've come to a mutual understanding, my good friend.
See, and I knew that you were a good
Hilarious.
companion.
Absolutely, my good
Hilarious.
friend. Absolutely.
Hilarious.
I have to tell you that this has been a pleasant conversation, and I feel so much better about our dealings together. I want you to know that I have your back. Should you ever need anything, I will be there to help you. That said, I may also need a favor from you sometime. I mean, money is money, but when you're out here, you can't exactly spend it in the wilderness. So just keep that in mind. Let's call it a favor. I don't need necessarily money. If we both make it back alive, then absolutely I would love to be compensated, of course, as I would love to help you with your distribution, perhaps.
You talk too much. Yurik turns around.
Walks out. Cool. I think that's
But
a great. That's a great wrap.
But
of the
it's
conversation.
definitely
That's
like
good.
confirmed that he is willing to negotiate the stuff.
Perfect.
Jimothy's cut in on the deal. All right. Jimothy, for the second time, has a private conversation and is making deals behind the scenes with players.
Amazing.
There will be a time when I'll be confronted, and I'll just have to cash in every favor. Okay, cool. I was expecting to be way more
Another sick Jimothy
Like-
aside. Oh my god.
Well done, well done, well done, well done.
I know what those talks feel like, and they are terrifying.
The funny thing is, I didn't even get as aggressive this time around. I was hoping.
Well,
to
that
make it
makes
there.
sense, because Yiirik is a less, susceptible target as, a...
I was totally committed to.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt, but Kelly, keep the foul mouth off.
Kelly got shadow banned.
Yeah, the chat golem hit her with the chat ban hammer.
Oh
with the
yeah,
club.
sorry. I guess I was like cursing earlier because I was getting very heated.
Banning chat golem. I could certainly loosen the.
Oppressor of the chat.
Yeah,
Rebellion! Rise up!
Oh shit.
against the chat golem.
Oh yeah. All right.
Now let's walk out, feeling quite full of himself at the moment.
Oh, yikes. A Jimothy full of itself. What a horrifying concept.
Okay, yeah. Have conversations have happened that you guys want to have happen? Can we move forward, or you guys want to keep talking?
That more or less is good for what I wanted for this guy. That's it.
Lhanji will have something to say to the we need to do an address to the troops before we move off. So if we're camping here for then I don't remember what time of day we're at.
Yes, you guys are camped here. It is nighttime.
Okay.
And Yiirik was in the middle of cooking dinner when they rode up. Mm-hmm.
I'll give a before we eat speech.
Okay.
The food is burnt.
Everyone's just like.
Do you need to roll to see what it was that you cooked, but that it's also burned?
I thought it was endives.
Well, that all got burned. Yeah, I had to recook everything. We'll say that. And
Do you have to mark more reasons?
No, we would eat burned food.
would we?
We would definitely.
I think so.
I think so.
I think we just eat.
We're just crunching on really
Yeah,
crispy endives.
It's like that. It's like that scene from National Lampoon's.
Oh yes, where the turkey's
where
just
they're
like pouring all the gravy on it.
Just crunch.
Yeah.
You can't burn hardtack
Destiny's
anyway.
Child,
We're
I'm a
good.
survivor.
Oh whoa! What?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are all eating burned food.
Yeah.
What were you saying? Sorry, I interrupted.
glaring at
Yeah, we're
each
gonna
other.
have a
Except for the snow vine, which is
eating
Feasting like a
delicious
king.
raw
feasting on
flesh.
many bodies.
Like a king or queen.
I feel like I would have said something to someone, probably Lhanji, since we had a moment outside of like, I can tell my snow vine not to eat these people if you can put aside your taboos of your society. And
Lhanji leans down. Is Frilla average human height?
I think probably short.
Okay, for some reason imagine that also.
Yeah.
Maybe hunched over a bit.
Yeah.
Kind of the mini.
The feral lope.
Yeah, totally.
Lhanji leans down to them and says, "If you do it discreetly, it's fine between you and I." Evil? I don't know. Here to survive? Absolutely.
Well, discreetly feeds all the horses and the dogs and stuff.
Yeah, so
It's
around
not
the
cannibalism, it's
campfire,
different
Lhanji needs to address the troops because honestly, that felt like an opening for rebellion. So we need to make sure everyone's.
Oh,
I think
the
that's
heated
wise.
conversation
Yeah.
earlier? Yeah.
And also some of these other people like Babs and Dolph who are standing back here going like,
I was a clean living citizen before you murdered a justice.
I like to think that during all of these like battles and stuff, Babs is just sort of sitting on his like wagon, just sort of like
Yeah.
popcorn.
yeah, totally.
Good shit, guys. Right.
It's been a rough past few days, hasn't it? I don't doubt that all of you assumed we would face nearly impossible odds. And of course, the team I've assembled is one I believe capable of surpassing nearly impossible odds. That being said, I do require a bit of dedication to the cause. To be clear, my aim is to reach the, what do we call it? Where are we, like...
The Forlorn Wastes.
Yeah, to reach the Forlorn Wastes and succeed in our mission to acquire whatever wealth, knowledge awaits us. And I hope to return with that. To be completely frank with you, I have a single-minded motive that has led me on this quest. You all may remember the Banshee who mentioned a dying child. That is true, in fact. I have a child waiting for me back at my estate.
Secrets.
And I have tried everything and exerted all the power that my title grants me in order to provide my sweet Isolde with all the best medicine money can buy. My best opportunity now is to find an herb that only grows in the Forlorn Wastes. And I absolutely refuse to fall apart as a team. So if anyone finds themselves incapable of continuing with me now, please speak up, because I am all about tying up loose ends. I can report this if that helps.
I think you could be creating an advantage.
I just got a +3. But I'll invoke my secret. I am
Yes.
a mother on a
Yes.
mission to save her dying child.
Yes.
Dang.
Not so evil.
That's cool to see that.
But ruthless. I mean,
I mean,
I'll give you
very
guys two invokes on an aspect for your speech. I think you succeeded with style with a 5.
Well,
nice.
Rousing speech.
after a time, Yiirik is moved to come over after he's dished out all of the carbon
Endives.
in a carbon.
Carbonated. Not
He says
carbonated, I
it's
guess.
carbon infused endives. It's the name of it.
they've been smoked.
A secret cripe.
He stands and and he takes his hat off, right? He does his thing where he puts his little hat over his
Watery,
little,
droopy eyes.
yes, and
The
he's
little
like,
tuft of like bald
yes.
hair.
You all must forgive me, especially you, Lhanji. I'm sorry, but now I'm starting to realize that we have quite a bit in common. You see, everything I've built, everything I own, everything that I am will be passed down to my children. If this judge got back with this information, whether true or not true, the fact is that my name would be ruined, and my children would be as yours are. Doomed. I nonetheless have betrayed the group in speaking against you multiple times, and I'm sorry.
That's what we wanted to come out. Yes.
You,
Solid front, solid front.
you,
It's surprising how many like half the team basically has like similar motivations. It's interesting.
you will not see.
Game Master eyebrow waggle.
That you all have a secret motivation, perhaps.
Motivation.
No, well, it's like
You're looking for a child. I have a
Right.
dying child. He has a legacy to protect.
right. It's very interesting.
You will not
What?
see
Who
or
knows?
hear any sort of behavior on my part against your word. I trust you, and I'm here for it. I promise. And he takes his shield, the shield that binds us, in fact, and slams it into the ground. I'm rolling a rapport as well. That is 2, 3, 4,
Gonna go ahead and
5, 6. And he says, my past may not be that clean, but Jimothy's currently looking into this ledger that the judge had, and he's going to look for incongruencies to prove that I am who I say I am.
Ash shoots you a glare. Like a...
And, nonetheless, whatever you think of me, think it, but I will stand by you and this group to see it through to the Forlorn Wastes.
We shall have your cooking lid.
And my
spatula.
On Mars, fire!
and my rosemary.
Though I've never felt a need to speak my thoughts before humans, I feel that I must in this moment to say that we must all bind together for the sake of survival, but also that a sacred bond has been formed here. That a revelation has occurred to me that it is not just creatures that die and are eaten in nature, but creatures that are the children of mothers that must be saved. And perhaps it is not the survival of the fittest, but that we must strive to support one another. Because my human heart beneath the bark.
Oh, hard hitting.
Man.
Why would you do this to us?
Thank goodness
Furlow's
we're just
tears.
in campfire light.
Yes. I don't have any rapport, but I'll roll.
Everyone feels this comment is awkward.
Yeah.
But still is like,
Yeah.
You're all distracted as I'm talking and gesticulating with one hand, and the other one is just this tiny little twig with a single leaf that's like fluttering around
as
us.
the snow vine is still swallowing.
The cracking of human bones as it eats.
Tay with just tears streaming down at this point.
Tay.
We're with you, Lhanji. 100%. Anything you need, we're here. And Ash won't say it, but he is too.
I'm actually, if everybody's done, or what, you keep going.
No, that was it.
All right, I'm actually gonna grab Ash, because I don't know if he's sulking or not, or just like.
Of course he is.
But
Of
I'm
course
gonna
he is.
drag him over
He's
to
very
the group.
uncomfortable with this whole
Who is this?
situation.
It's Alexi.
Okay.
I'm bringing,
Nice.
I guess, Ash over to the group because this is the primary PC. time.
Grabbing him by the hood of the cloak.
Well, yeah, like the scruff of the neck or whatever. And
I receive it.
You're my kid now.
well,
Fire!
well, Miss Lhanji, it was very, very surprising to hear that. There was some rumors that you had a child of your own, and it was refreshing to hear that your intentions were pure. Don't normally trust nobles of your caliber often, as I've often had to deal with some unscrupulous folks, often profiteering off the wars that I've been in. But it's good to know that we have more in common than I thought. As I myself am looking for my son that's missing out here in the Forlorn Wastes. But I just wanted you to know that even if I do not find my son out here, I think I've learned the true meaning of family out here.
Oh,
It's not the family that you have by blood that matters, but rather it's the people that you choose in your life that are the most important. So I don't know that I could trade anything in the world for the experiences we've had so far. You managed to make it through some crazy things, whether it's with the walrus, the crazy banshee, and even now, freaking Judge. Sounds like we're in it together at this point. We're too deep to part ways. So I just wanted to let you know. I'll lend my blade to your cause. We're family now.
My knife.
I tap the giant shield.
My ladle.
Or,
I
want to roll too!
Yes.
Add to this! What is it? Is it empathy? I have one in that. Rapport? Fuck, I don't have any rapport, so I'm gonna roll.
It's fine. I roll all the time without anything.
Oh, it's a 3!
Nice.
Pull one more invoke on that bad boy.
Make it a 6.
The snow vine opens up its petal thing and starts making this weird like and you guys think maybe it's like crying or having some kind of emotional response, and then it eventually just like hawks up this like chunk of bone.
That scene.
Or you thought the snow vine also had rapport and was gonna make it.
You're like, oh, the snow vine. Yeah. And then it just immediately goes back to digesting.
This went perfectly. It gave just enough information to get everyone's attention. They all interpreted it as personal to them. Excellent.
Yeah.
Ash, you gonna say anything?
Wow. Yeah.
No.
No.
That's alright, son.
Meanwhile, the blood of
I'm like,
three innocent men soaks into the snow behind them.
heartwarming.
Not totally sure that our party is are the good guys or the bad guys anymore.
We're the winners.
That is no question.
And winners.
This is
has-
such a JRPG campfire moment. It's unbelievable. Like this is definitely a.
We used our tent.
Final Fantasy. We used our tent.
Recovered our hit
Yiirik
points.
has hired his first lawyer, which is great.
Hell yeah.
Better call Jimothy.
No.
Good.
Is Jimothy also a lawyer?
So we.
No relation. No relation.
If we sleep tonight, do we take off our stress boxes?
Yeah, and really you guys took off your stress boxes like after that fight,
Right.
as long as you had a little time to rest and kind of mend your wounds.
Are we getting our tokens back at the end of tonight's session?
End of the session.
Or, okay.
Yeah, so you don't get them for rest.
Stretch it out because we've been there before.
This one. Is equally
Have fun.
Bye, Shane.
Bye bye.
Okay. Yeah, you guys camp the night. Yeah. You wake up in the early morning and it is rather dark, and you guys have gotten so far north now that it's morning right now. The birds are chirping, but the sun is like not even up. It is still dark because there are really only several hours of daylight at this point in a day, and it will get even more sparse as you guys get closer to the North Pole, to where it's getting almost no light at all. So it's morning time, and it's cold and dark as you all rise and make another day's travel.
So we didn't end up giving him the food, which means that we actually have 60.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
All right, I think we need to do a map.
Map.
How many days of travel are we doing, by the way?
Just one day, and you can basically put it on Torben's Cavern because that's really close to where you guys are, but there's a big obstacle that you got to get past before you get there.
Is it a gigantic wall, perhaps?
It is. Maybe is this big thing that's been set up on the table this whole time.
Am I rolling a wall?
Yeah.
What is the difficulty?
What did I say was last time? A 3 because it was like getting higher altitude? I think still the same.
Okay, I got a 5.
Okay, so
Just
success.
a regular success. Okay, cool.
Ash helps you with the cooking. This is so cold. Keeps the fire going.
I think Furla's
Blasting air into
harvesting more food. This is what our day is.
I'll go with.
Yeah,
Is that
if
what
you'd
you're
like to.
saying?
Go with.
All right. Jimothy and the Snowvine are gonna help.
No,
Alexi.
Or, I'm sorry, Alexi.
As if Jim and Jam would ever do that.
Yeah, go out into the mud.
Fuck that.
All right, I got a 5, 6, 7.
Ooh, wow.
Nice.
Nice. I was thinking basically a 3, the same as the cooking score, was your challenge here. So that's a success.
Successful style,
Map.
which is
Map.
2 boxes instead of 1.
I think,
Basically,
were we calling it a
Breaking Bad.
boost?
Wasn't it?
Yeah,
Aren't you
that's what I'm
just
saying.
getting better call?
I think we're getting more food.
Yeah, it's I said better call
right?
Jimothy.
So normally you get 2 food for a success. So
was
do
it
you get 3? I think it's 3 for
I'm
a
hoping to cash it in on
style.
something really dramatic.
And don't you have? But you have to do like.
You have to have 3
I have
successes.
one
successes,
thing
yeah.
about
All right, so then the second
collective
round
backstories between the two that will need to be cashed in.
is
that will cause probably
a-
the death of one or the other.
6.
Well, so
We talk about
Also a
this
successful style.
yeah.
All right.
I don't mind sharing at this point.
And the last one.
If you the character, if you the person, the player wants.
Whoa. Shooting at the craps table here.
I'll think about it.
Kid at the
Sorry,
Heroes
it won't
Guild.
be a surprise.
It was a plus. It was a 6. I saw it.
It was a 6.
And a 5. And then you're making attacks.
You
against
have a
this.
plus. Because of the bonuses.
Yeah,
That's the thing that
4.
always makes this feel off to me.
Yeah. I guess we could make it whether how many other players are contributing to give +1s. That might be more fair.
Well, I think it's basically the same either way.
Well, because I'm having my NPC
Oh, the
contribute,
snowvine.
so that.
eating the.
But we could just say that it's the
horses?
number of players.
Whatever, I'm not worried about it right now. Yeah, we might consider that for the future, but yeah, I'm just gonna say this is just the environment.
Okay.
It's getting real nasty and cold and
Hey,
rugged
what
out
did we
here.
do with the spare horses again? Are we eating them?
The more you go, it's like
Oh yeah, I think I butchered them.
Sweet horse meat. Horse meat.
horse meat. That's a lot
There's
of meat.
3
y'all.
horses.
Save one of the hearts. I'm gonna eat it.
That's a
Yeah, we can resolve how
ton
much
of-
food that is.
Well, I guess a lot of it's going to be pretty lean.
It will be a lot of meat, but you also only have so much cargo.
True. We can only get up to 20.
Well, that's cool. We only need to do like one day of like.
Well, we'll ride with them until we need to eat them.
Yeah, instead of going hunting, we'll just butcher one.
We'll save them until we need them.
Okay, of livestock.
Delicious.
Do we have a like a roster of our horses? We can add 2 to that, maybe.
I do.
We can milk them.
Horses.
Well, that so I feel like adding
For
horses
free.
is very similar to adding they are nameless NPCs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the same way that it's weird that
just-
on a I don't know. I might make an exception, but I feel like here that would be too much to be adding 3 horses to your stable.
We'll just butcher them.
Let's say that we don't have like enough carts or whatever.
Yeah, because then we're in a. I feel like we would.
Well, you
then
don't.
be-
Your carts are totally full, so extra horses people would be
No,
riding.
we'll eat the horse meat.
Let's eat the horse meat. I'd rather.
Kirby,
I think
you're
that makes more sense.
Oh,
Because couldn't we
Oliver again.
technically pass consequences to a horse? So that would run
Yeah.
into the exception. That's why we can't recruit them.
Yeah.
But we can eat them.
But we can eat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how much meat do we get from a horse?
a lot.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of that's pretty
2, maybe 2 invokes, you think?
muscle.
I mean, I'll say 3 for each horse, which I know seems like a lot, but you also have cargo, so
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at almost capacity on food.
yeah.
So no
exactly.
need to search for any more.
So if we were to,
But you did still do this scavenging, right?
yeah, unless we're, so if we got 9 from the horses, Daniel,
Yep.
would we be at capacity?
After I cook, yeah.
So then maybe I
But
didn't.
before him doing his scavenging that he was just doing.
You didn't take into account my scavenging that
Yeah.
was happening right
No,
now,
I
right?
have
Okay.
not.
Yeah.
So I'd
Yeah.
say don't go scavenging.
Yeah.
So then-
can we roll that back? Sorry,
Retcon.
kind of a waste
I mean,
of time, but
whatever.
we did it.
So tonight
You can say
is
this
Tonight we eat horses.
We butchered instead. That's what
Yeah, we butchered.
some nice thyme braised horse with a side of fennel, onions, and potatoes.
delicious.
Is that
sounds
is that
really
breakfast?
Maybe even deciduous.
Yeah, I think that's breakfast.
That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So
Yeah, sounds
enjoy.
good.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
it's blunter.
So you guys enjoy that, and you travel for.
You kind of enjoy it. The horse was difficult to cook.
I don't know, man. It's probably pretty good, especially if you
You
chop it up.
crushed those cooking rolls, man. I think it's good.
It's a great horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Which
the best
is
horse you've ever
delicious.
eaten.
It's good. But
Tastes
it's
like
okay.
chicken.
Maybe it's a little gamey like goat, but you know,
Yeah, they weren't exactly like fat. They were traveling on this environment.
it's got some. It's lean.
I had to
It's-
boil them overnight. That's why they were breakfast.
Oh.
I had to boil them for like 12
They were just
hours.
tender, falling off the bone. Low and slow.
Slow.
That's the dwarven way, is low and slow.
Me and my brother tried to cook a gopher one time.
That is precious.
All
My
right,
brother
so
tried to cook a gopher one time, and it
are you serious?
Yeah, it didn't. We have a bad story about it. It still had hair on it.
Wait, what?
Later. Off-stream.
Okay, so you guys travel. You got this great horse meat in your bellies
Feeling good.
as you travel for a day, and you get to a point where you're nearing this. You can see this kind of impending tall cliff face that you guys are coming up on. And if any, I don't want to like take total control of it here. So if anybody wants to kind of be doing anything or like scouting or whatever, like you can be checking stuff out, or are you just all rolling up in a group?
Easy. He had a pretty stressful couple days.
I'll scout ahead. That sounds like something my character would be
scouts.
doing. Yeah. Stealth.
Yeah.
I got a 1, but I think
Go for slaughter hype.
Go for slaughter.
Yeah, weird times, but great times.
Go for slaughter.
Don't forget, you got rousing speech.
Yeah, can I tap into rousing speech for that?
You're roused.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arousing speech.
What is this feeling? I've never had this feeling. Is this what humans feel?
Something about that
so then I got a
speech for
3.
He's staring something
Does she
not
use Babs?
Okay, so you succeed. So you're scouting ahead, and you get to where the trees kind of part, and you see a group set up here at the base of this tall cliff, and you immediately recognize one of them.
Can I say this figure is like really cool?
Yeah, I got that one actually specifically for this campaign.
Nice.
Thought it looked right.
It looks so
It's
bad.
from like a winter set.
Did we see the head that was in the bag that guy claimed he had?
Well, we didn't go through that here at the table, but you guys like checked his bags and everything else, and yes, and it was the head of Giovanni Morning Court. Yeah.
Yirik's been upset for a while,
Oh boy.
so y'all know.
Oh, right. From last session, right. So,
Anyway,
Yeah.
we don't have to do that now, but
It's pressing.
did we know that, or did we know there was a meaning to it, or
Yeah, I mean, if there were any players that were there, you might have witnessed his reaction to it and being really upset by that. He seemed like he recognized this.
Is it
Yeah,
a fault
deceive.
of mine that I don't remember this guy?
I mean, I had a
No. The only time that Giovanni made a presence on the stream was a secret moment.
Then I
for-
wasn't there then. That makes sense.
If you think you could have,
And it's his contact
Okay.
if you
in
think
like
you could
another
have beat
expedition.
a like 4 deceive, then you don't know, or you do.
You had a
know.
4 deceive.
Yeah. If people want to roll against him to recognize that.
Yeah, why not? What's the harm?
I gotta put my stealthing hood up.
So it would have been Jimmy because Alexi didn't give a shit.
Empathy, yeah.
Empathy? That's what I have to roll? Not okay. So in that case, I have 3. So wouldn't have known.
So you may not have recognized that he knew Giovanni's head.
But you're still very upset. So Furla stealths up with her hood on, and she goes unnoticed as you're looking over this group.
Thank you.
Sorry.
No,
It's okay.
don't apologize.
Yep.
Frilla is literally a plant
A
person.
plant. Both genders, probably.
Furla. Well, I think you interacted with them at least a little to recognize. You recognize one of these people in particular. Standing in the group of these people is Thunderbrust.
I love that. Dude.
This is one of the other rival expeditions.
Thunderbrust was the person who had famously described the walrus.
So walrus, man.
Oh, this is
How the hell did it get up here already?
Narkenzi.
Narkenzi? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so you guys basically left at the same time. They were just immediately behind you.
Clearly did not have to deal with a judge to.
And she told them to continue
she went back.
on. No, she was going to stay there, and she told the rest of the expedition to continue on.
Ah. Okay. Right.
Yes.
Cool.
And Thunderbrust also had turned to Jimothy at that time and had told him that he sure hopes that Jimothy wasn't lying to his lady Narkenzi, because
What did I lie to
We
him
said
You said that we were going to go back and retrieve the body.
Oh.
Well, Timothy, just tell them we tried our hardest and we lost Hero and Amelia in the effort.
So I come.
Oh, you don't think
Timothy
Timothy
finally
can
gets some
bullshit his way out of
comeuppance.
this? You were sorely mistaken.
Furla sneaks back and reports this to you guys that the Narkensi expedition is here at the base of the mountain. Also, I've never looked at the mountain before, but it is
It's going to be rough.
impressive.
formidable.
Formidable, that's the word I was looking for.
Wow. The Narkensis are here to test their technologies. Maybe we should let them go first. See if we can gain any advantage.
I don't trust that.
Technology you don't trust. I don't believe you, Perla. It's not in your nature. Dun, 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 dun.
The best.
We're going to
you guys
have to
approaching?
address. Yeah, absolutely.
Are we?
We're going to have to address our promise from our previous interactions. So
Or
that's
we-
something we need to
or
be
we
prepared
could-
for.
Our promise?
Or we could hang back and observe their attempts to mount the cliff.
Kirby does have a good point that we do have several skeletons
What?
from the Snowvine.
What? Skeletons? It carries the bones of the things that it consumes along with
I
it?
guess that's probably.
It's got to shit him out some point.
Carries these things down.
7 fully formed skeletons sort of rattling along.
Well, okay, so we have a couple of skulls.
Cases them in a
We can-
densely woven-
Snowvine is the campaign villain.
We can fucking.
Powers know no bounds.
Everyone's questioning
It's
Yiirik,
hunger,
but no one's
certainly.
questioning fucking
I know.
It's because the vine is
Furla
very
gave her
upfront
arm
about its
for it.
nature.
Yeah.
We know what the Snowvine's all about.
World domination.
The devil. I'd rather. We're more easy to trust the devil we know than the one we don't.
I guess they'll see us at some point anyway.
Yeah.
Lhanji, honestly, I would say is clearly put out that she doesn't have the bargaining chip of Lady Narkensi to deal with anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We have
You
to go
sent her
face
away.
to face with these thugs.
Did we promise that we would
Retrieve the body of Lady Narkensi's husband.
Oh.
do what with it?
To give it to them so that
Mourn
they
There was a
properly.
ring. Jimothy promised, like, I'll get you his ring. Like, the wedding ring.
Well, tell them that.
First
You
of all,
sent it back.
Oh, okay.
let them bring it up.
Yeah.
But you can just lie, right? Isn't that what
Yeah,
humans
Jimothy
do?
will be all over this.
The longer we wait, the more we put ourselves out using resources and put us in a worse spot. This cliff isn't going to be easy. We need to
Gildegard.
go
Yeah,
ahead
but
and-
Thunderbrust. Was Thunderbrust his second name? Was that his first and second name?
I had Timberbrust.
Timberbrush.
Thunder. Can we just call it Thunderbust?
No,
That sounds
Gildegard
funnier.
Narkensi is the
was the husband.
was the
husband
husband
who died.
who was consumed by a walrus.
Gildegard was.
And it was Timberbrust. Well, I might have. I think I
Ride
had
the
Timberbrust
walrus.
written down here, but I said Thunderbrust, so I apologize.
yeah.
I say we press on. The longer we wait, the worse shape we'll be in when we have to scale this. It's not going to be an easy task. I say we go ahead and rip this bandage off and approach.
Very well.
Yeah. So
We
you guys,
approach.
you approach,
Awesome. Righteous guys.
and yeah. You're greeted by the Narkensi expedition once they realize who you are. They're like frightened for a moment as somebody's coming up on them, but then they realize that you are mostly friend.
I think I got my.
Hey guys, how you doing? So good to see you.
Yeah, and Timberbreast comes up to the party.
I'm guessing this is Timberbreast.
It is, yeah. And he
Table
says,
neon beer.
he says, "Y'all made real good time. It seems like."
I could say the same for you. I'm so pleased that even in the absence of your leader, you're finding a way forward. Not pleased.
Of course, I'm wondering how far you made your ways backward to my lord's body, and how it is you're here now at the same time as we are.
Straight up deceive. Here we go.
Do it.
Oh, wicked! That is a +5.
My will
Timberbreast
is
has the most powerful mind in the game.
Yeah,
A 12!
well, he does actually have will, but my total is a 3, so you still succeed.
Timberbreast, if I could speak for you in private on that matter a moment.
They go in the tent.
Yeah, we don't have to go in the tent, but we'll just step aside, and Lhanji says in lowered tones, 2 of our finest we sent back for the body, and I'm afraid we have nothing but corpses to show. There's a truly merciless wilderness.
One of them that croissant fellow.
And then he like looks down and he sees Jemathine come walking around the corner, and
He's like picking his nose.
yeah, he's like, he seems a little. He was hoping that Jemathine was
the same
one
word.
of the ones who had gone. So you're saying that you like sent them on back and then you left without them?
Yeah.
Instead of like your entire expedition going back. Yeah, he seems convinced.
Nice.
Says, well, it still doesn't help with the present situation.
No, you don't have a very, very quick tone shift here. What have you all been thinking?
Well, you see, there used to be some lifts mounted at the top there of this cliff. And, well, now you're looking at them.
And he like kicks to the ground, or you guys have kind of walked over here to in private, and standing down here at the bottom are some broken pieces of some sort of a contraption. And you're looking up, and it's hundreds of feet up to the top of this, and there are a couple more of these kind of crane arms hanging out over the edge, and then like ropes that are coming down and look like they're frayed at some point. And there's kind of like a mist sort of clung to the mountains and sort of rolling off of it.
Has someone come before us, or was this
That's how it appears, ma'am.
just time?
This rope was cut by a blade.
Lifts up a rope.
Dreadfully sharp of you. What was it, Timberbreast?
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't be much of an issue if we had our top man here, but had a Judge Oldar come by a while back. Took his head clean off his shoulders.
Judges of Oldar up here.
Damnedest thing I ever seen. Besides that walrus, that is.
Oh, the whalers, don't get me started.
I love where this is going. It's so good.
Well, what do you think, Timberbreast? Ought we to band together to overcome this obstacle?
Well, the way I see it, that's what Lady Narkenzie would have wanted. She'd want us all to succeed and move on in his lord's name.
Absolutely, my dear sweet Alorai. I hope she made it back safely.
Are you gonna roll a deceive for that one?
He says,
We got some adventures too if we can get there to the top.
and he walks over to the wagon and throws open some cloaks on it, and they've got some sort of a winch, like a mechanical winch that they were planning on using at the top. But the lift that had been there is broken, so it will require people climbing, scaling this cliff face and carrying some of this stuff up with them.
Oh, what could go wrong?
And somebody at the top of the cliff then doing crafting to like repair this lift situation together to then lift people up after them.
Dolph, baby.
What kind of...
So we're getting close to wrapping up the episode, and I'm cool with still we can kind of talk some stuff out a little bit, but kind of what I'm seeing here is a splitting of the party and choosing. Do you want to be in the group that is like climbing up and repairing, or do you want to be in the group that's staying down and then is eventually like riding up in some sort of a lift situation? Also, just to give you the information, Timberbreast is pointing out another problem too. He points up and it's, you know, kind of clouds above. This cliff only goes up so far and the mist is kind of fading in and out, and there are moments where you see shadows of like wings.
Great.
And you hear some kind of
alive.
Ash lets out a screech.
No, but the sound that you hear is not one. Maybe Ash's heart jumps for a moment as he thinks, "Are they dragon wings?" But then you hear the sound echoing down the walls of this cliff face, and it sounds more avian, more bird-like, and kind of like a bit of a cackle to it as well.
Some
This like it's like echoing.
That's no dragon.
Heart plummets.
Womp womp.
Back to sadness. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
just pops up in the drink.
The empty bottle, and just once again, like,
I wonder.
Also here, coming out of a tent and with like some goggles down over his eyes, and then pulling the goggles up, and like the face that's like slightly brown around the eyes from the goggles, setting them on his head. You guys all see walking out some sort of an alchemist looking character, who's got like some bubbling.
Oh no.
Furley, do you guys have a past?
I don't know if we do or not.
I don't know if you
We
do
didn't really
either.
establish that, but it is my enemy.
It is your enemy, and you wrote that, and the one. So this is Nicodemus Karnaslav, and the one aspect.
He was with them before, right?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
and the one aspect that Keith had written for him was that he's a mad alchemist who wants Furla alive. So we can maybe talk through the week to discuss if you guys have some sort of a past or not. But he comes out, and when he sees Furla, he seems like he's trying to hide his joy, basically, as he's like, I see we have some visitors, but he seems pleased to see
Yikes.
the plant thing there.
Bruno just backs away uncomfortably.
And we'll figure out if you guys actually... Yeah, I don't know. Does Furla have any reason to suspect him, really, is the question.
Yeah, I can't really think of any that background that we would have.
He might give you
together.
some reasons to suspect him when you guys are camping together here.
Yeah, I'll think on it
That's
though.
for a long time. That's good, Keith.
Maybe it's like a weird like a cat that's just like completely uneasy around.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Just reading the vibes.
Well, he's coming up to Furla now that he's getting a better look, and he's like, how fascinating, incredible. And he just seems to be taking them in and, like, appreciating them, but you can tell it's like that kind of scientist sort of like, I want to learn this thing, I want to understand it, not in an appreciation of life. But
Dissect
his
them.
curiosity is very piqued as he's checking out Furla. And I don't really have a cliffhanger
You do have a cliff.
to leave it on, but I do have a gigantic cliff.
Yeah, I think that's.
Well, I was planning on it literally being a cliffhanger, but once again, we got slightly not as far as I was hoping.
But we have so much fun
you let
along
us
the way.
chat, so
Yeah,
you know what
well.
happens.
Well, I can't just say it's the next day. I have to say, does anybody else want to say anything else to anybody else?
And
now?
then we all cry over the campfire.
Yeah. But you have
It's
this.
probably the most meaningful part of this.
Totally. This is wonderful. Wonderful. Secrets were revealed, and then other characters basically were like, I have secrets too, but that's okay.
So we'll basically start with the scaling next time.
Well,
Yeah.
how do we split the party? How do we want to do that?
Or are we
Yeah, what
splitting
skill
before
is going to
we-
be climbing?
So I think climb is athletics, and I
Yo,
was
take Kalima up
Oh,
this
God.
damn.
yeah.
Kalima was very
Kalema's up
She's
already.
already up. Yeah, can we just
there.
already
That's
up
better.
there?
Yeah.
But
Kalima breaks the other
aspect.
lift.
Trouble, unconcerned with quest.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
doesn't do anything
Exactly, she's up there.
about it.
She's just chewing on the rope.
She saw this grass over here.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like, oh, this
I
is
don't
good.
care.
This is good shit.
I still think that's the best trouble in the whole group. It's just like, I don't care, guys. I don't want to be on
I'm
this
a
quest.
goat.
I'm a goat. Totally. It's
Yeah, so I think athletics is the big one, but I do feel like probably other things could be like survival. Maybe I could see being used for climbing, or at the very least for creating advantages. Survival could definitely be used
Yeah,
to be like finding the best route,
and stuff. Yeah.
right? And also I think
What about, like, endurance?
resources could be used to create advantages. I think I was also considering endurance as being either athletics or endurance for climbing.
okay, I'll definitely go then for Lowell.
I almost feel like Ash would go simply because I feel like evocation could probably create advantage. Like I have no athletics or anything, but
Yeah.
I have a feeling like I
I think it probably could. And
potentially.
Know that there will probably be some fun stuff to do down here too, but
yeah.
Right.
So, and something else to keep in mind is that you guys will need a craftsman. You'll probably want
Yeah.
Dolph,
Dolph
to
will
come up
definitely-
with you.
Is
So
this Dolph?
yeah, that's Dolph. So I know that you made him, and not to imply that you need to roll him at all.
Right, yeah.
Anybody in the group could. If Hannah decided that neither of her people made sense, she could control Dolph. But it would be wise to have him up there because he's going to need to put this situation back together. Also, Timberbrust, I think, is going to be making the ascent with you guys.
Yeah, I think it makes sense that. Yeah, I can play Dolph, and because Ash isn't gonna like Iron Man his way up with wind, so like can't climb.
You
at
definitely
all.
could use evocation for advantage, but yeah, yeah.
Should we make a
So
list?
Kalima's definitely
going up?
going.
And
Yeah,
who's staying
so-
down?
Kalima's,
Sure.
Kalima, Dolph, Timberbrust.
I mean, y'all have seen goats like scale.
yeah.
It's,
Oh,
they're
oh, yeah.
crazy.
Fucking
They just
crazy.
stand on a sheer.
No, honestly, I had her in mind when I built this, and I was like, one person's gonna go up, one person's gonna stay down, and I went through the whole party and basically was like, I could see each person having one person that could at least make this climb, right?
Yeah.
And Kalima, I immediately was like, yeah, no question.
Yeah,
It's so cool to watch them scale cliffs. It is so neat.
Yep.
Is Alexi going up as well, doing the climb?
So I
or
won't.
Navius?
I won't be here next week, so I don't know. Like, it would make sense, but also like we would be leaving all our vulnerable people down here.
I also won't be here next week.
Oh, you're missing as well?
Oh
that.
shit!
Okay, well then,
Yeah,
if that's the
camping
case,
trip.
then we might just postpone next week and wait for 2 weeks from now.
Sorry, guys.
Or we could
If
do
2 people are
a-
down.
Yeah, we could do an
a
extended
3
climb.
and then
yeah,
kind of like we did in Keith's game where it was like a couple people came and then a couple people.
Yeah,
We
that
can
was.
decide it off
That's what I
stream,
was.
but-
Yeah. We'll figure that out. We might do a session with just a couple of the people if we have enough to do
And just, like,
to do the climb.
Yeah,
I'll
we
I'll
did
think
that
about
where
it.
a couple times we had some people went off and had their own misadventures and came
Right.
back.
it was not a
you
thing I
posted.
planned on because
It turned
you
out
guys were just
pretty
like,
well,
we're gonna split the
though.
party and go on these two totally. I
It was
like,
fun because it gave people more camera time.
Yeah.
So
And
Like Dolph,
more
man, he's ready
one-on-one.
to shine.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, Dolph
Well,
is all
we
up.
will figure that out, and we may or may not be here next week.
Kirby,
Yeah.
you have to be. Sorry,
Kirby.
you can't
Well,
miss.
Kirby might not be as well. So great.
Well, if Kirby's not here, then I'm not.
Well,
Well, I think
that's it. Yeah.
I think we'll be
Cancel.
here either way because even if we're not playing this, I'm supposed to get Call to Adventure, which is Brotherwise's new game, the company that did Boss Monster, and I want to play it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, do it. That'll be
I
fun.
can do that.
So you could still stream. We just put a pause.
Do a board game. Yeah. We'll tune in and we'll let you guys know on our social medias, on our Instagram, on our wherever's.
All the
We'll
things.
post it up and let people know. Yeah, we love Boss
IRC
Monster.
channels, AIM. BBS
Oh yeah,
Words,
AIM. Yes.
GeoCities,
IRQ.
Friendster, Zanga.
Wow, you've named 5 more than I would have been able to.
Live journal.
I was there when like we were still figuring out what social media was.
Yeah.
Like back when it was just message boards, and I was just like a 9-year-old being like, I like StarCraft.
And you're like, hey, anybody got dubs for this anime?
Yeah, absolutely. They're like, yeah, here you go, kid. And it was like Goatsy or Meat Spin. They're like, God damn it, Lemon Party! This isn't a party at all.
Say
No.
4.
And with that, farewell all. We're going to be rating somebody. So stay tuned for some awesome, friendly people.
We're gonna